y'all. Welcome back to 5QS, Fifth Quarter Sports. Got the gang here with me. I'm your host, Ed. We got Jeff here, Vic here as well, and also the return of
Yo,
Mark, Mr.
yo.
Hollywood himself, bro. How
Man,
are
it's
you
good to be
feeling,
back. I ain't
man?
gonna lie to you. Had to detour for some, life things, work things of that nature, but we back ready to,
Yes,
pod.
sir. It's been a long time coming,
No
bro. We
worries.
missed you, dog. So we got a bunch to talk about. Football, basketball, of course. A lot of controversies going on. Also gonna touch on that Bud and Canelo fight as well. But to start off, we're gonna start with football. And going into week 3, the Chiefs are 0-2 for the first time since 2015. Also heard of a stat saying that like Pat Mahomes ain't been 0-2 since like high school or something like that. So how do you guys feel about the start for the Chiefs? Is this a sign of a downfall for them, or could it just be like early
I wouldn't
season
say it's a
woes?
downfall. To me, it's almost like, it's kind of hard to compare dynasties, but it's almost like when the Pats, after they won their first 3, like there was like a big gap between like whenever they started winning again, like in the late 2010s. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I remember, like, I think it was, because they won, I think, 2000, and then I think they went 04. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But it was like a long 10-year period where they was either losing Super Bowls or they was like they was just not going at all. So I feel like it's that. Honestly, this is probably one of the worst teams Pat's had offensively, like around him. You know what I'm saying? The defense can only do so much. Like the past couple years, it's really been defense kind of leading it, and Mahomes has just been good at. Yeah, Mahomes been good at
Chris
just kind
Jones
of
in it.
managing and picking his spots where he got to be like basically magic. So I feel like there's only so much you could do. I mean, it's like the ultimate team game. You know what I'm saying? So even though you can be as great as you are, like when your receiver is, I really don't know who their receiver is right now, honestly. Like I'm not even like, cause I know Rasheed out. I know
They're both
Hollywood. I
out.
think he injured. No, not Hollywood. Worthy's injured with his shoulder.
Worthy.
Travis Kelce, he really
Worthy.
didn't look that good last year, anyways. But like that's really what it is. Like, yeah, them guys once they start getting
Wolford out
old, I
the
feel
door.
like it'd be like in
Like
spurts.
he,
Like Winkowski, he didn't look great on like the playoffs. Remember, I give you 4 great games in these playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that's where we are with Travis Kelce. He can't give you a full 17, but
Yeah.
come playoff time, he can get you in like clutch spots.
I think the big thing for me is I've been a big proponent of like the league watching film and you know players lock in with other players on the team, players lock in with their DC position coaches. The Super Bowl was a big
Yeah,
indication on like this is how you beat the Chiefs. Put pressure on Pat. Just drop everybody in there. Send 8, send 7 if you need to. Do exotic blitzes. Just because even though Pat is magic in the years prior, it was kind of hard to blitz him and not pay for it. They don't have the same line protection as they did back in those days. They got a
yeah,
rookie starting at tackle, I think, now this year. Last year, they was already kind of looking sweet on the line. So the Eagles had a monstrous, like evil villain, dastardly kind of like defensive line and a front 7 that could really harass Pat Mahomes. I think the league took notice, and you saw that when they played the Chargers, that the Chargers was doing a lot of zone blitzing. They was doing a lot of like banjo, but we gonna send somebody off that banjo too. Like we're not gonna give you the alleys that you would have prior years to go make a lot of plays, and you kind of see the Chiefs on the offensive end kind of like suffer from that. In my opinion, what's killing the Chiefs is the defensive players getting old. I think Chris
yeah,
Jones is pushing 36. He's 33, 34. Chris Jones is in double-digit seasons now. He's a Hall of Fame defensive tackle, but when you're a Hall of Fame defensive tackle, I believe in week 1, supposed to have Isaac Tane playing loose five technique, and he's swimming inside to give Justin Herbert free rushing lane to go get the first down and win the game on a crucial third down. That's an indication for me that like there's certain things that's being missed. Like fundamentals gonna be fundamentals regardless what we're doing. So when you got your Hall of Fame guy rushing inside and he playing 5 technique, that lets me know that there's certain things that the Chiefs are getting a little too complacent on the defensive end too. I don't think it's nothing that shocks me in terms because this happens to most dynasties anyway. I still think Andy Reid's a great coach. Still think Spag is a good coach. I think maybe losing Bellamy as they OC may be hindering them a little bit, but we all know Andy the
you
one
think
calling the play, so it
you
shouldn't be. as big as
Do you think it's
a
like dead?
deal,
Like, do you
but
think the dynasty is
when
done
you,
for? Cause
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. This Sunday, this they get right game. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, it's a game where they put it
no,
together and they figure, and they figure it out. But like, just in the
yeah, they
grand
punching
scheme of
y'all in the
things,
face.
I'm not betting against Mahomes. But do you feel like this stage of the dynasty is where, I mean, they might go to a couple AFC championships, maybe divisional rounds, but do you think that Super Bowl run of where they by far we kind of know
I
they're gonna
wouldn't
be in the
say
AFC
that.
championship every year? Cause last year, even last year,
That's a
whenever the
great
team wasn't
question.
that great, like we kind of was like, I mean, yeah, the Ravens look good, the Bills look good, but we know the Chiefs gonna be in the AFC championship. It's gonna be whoever they play
Mm,
out of those teams. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like now we at the point in time where, I mean, maybe
correct.
it's just like you give a team enough chances. I really can't see the Ravens losing to them again. I can't see the Bills losing to them again. The Bengals. I mean, depending on how,
Mm.
yeah, Chargers. Depending on
I don't
how
even see
like
the charge. I think the
how long.
Chargers
You know what I'm
do them
saying? I
dirty
think
this year
Joe
too.
out for
Get
like
them out of there.
3 months. Depending if they can stay afloat. You know what I'm saying? Come back and Joe come back playoff time because Joe can get hot. You know what I'm saying? Depending on like that. Like do we feel like the Bengals is just no chance? You know what I'm saying? Like do you feel like the Chiefs is out of there? Is done. There's no chance. Is like this is the end of the dynasty. They going 10-7 and
That's a really good question. I don't know. Like the AFC West is a dogfight this year. Like everybody looking at least competent. I don't really know what the Raiders got going on, but outside of the Raiders, everybody looks competent. So that's a really good question. I think I just got to give him more time. I've seen rumors that they want to bring Reek back. They want to bring Tyreek back and freak the offense back again. But I genuinely don't know. I think as long as Pat Mahomes is quarterback, it's hard to say that the dynasty's over. To be honest, because Pat does his wizard work with the football. That's like I've never seen ball players do stuff like this. That's really changing and redefining what quarterbacks should be able to do. But I don't know. That's a really good question. I think it really all depends on
yeah,
like when we get deeper into the season, when we're pushing November football, December football. I think the first 2 weeks isn't the best indication. Like I just don't want to write them off yet. But the Chiefs being 0-2, if you would have told me that in May, July, I would have been like, no freaking way. So I don't know. That's a really good question. I think it's going more or less boil down to how did this
yeah.
team
I will
respond to
say
being
though,
0-2? Because I don't
they
think them boys
I would say if
have
they start
ever
0-3, then
really
I
been
feel
losing.
like
So
that is
it
like
should be
emergency
interesting to
sale
see
time.
how they
Like we
respond
got
to
to
that.
figure it out. Especially like you lose to the Giants. I don't think the Giants are necessarily like a bad team, but that's not a team you should lose to if you got championship aspirations.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're a good team, but I don't think they're a bad team. I don't think they a bottom
You
five
don't think
team
the
in the
Giants is
league.
a
You know what I'm
bad
saying?
team?
But that's not a team you should lose to if you got championship aspirations. That's my opinion. I
Okay.
mean, I could be slightly biased.
Okay. Correct. And
That
every year
leads
they have championship
right into
aspirations.
the next topic too. I was gonna say that leads right into the next topic too. What is the potential of that matchup? What's the potential of like the Giants maybe sneaking that game away
Not
from them,
necessarily. I feel
or
like
could
if
they
for that
expose that
matchup
defense and where
wise,
the
I don't think
Chiefs
that'll be a
are
matchup
lacking that
where the
as of
Giants
right now?
will outshoot the Chiefs. If that's somehow the Giants pull that game off, that's gonna be like a 17-10 type win, where the Giants defense steps up and stalls out the Chiefs offense, which is the least likely option. But with Spags gonna send exotic blitzes, bro. And Russ just isn't good at in this stage in his career. He's not good whenever he feel the pressure. So if that's the type of win that if an upset is gonna happen, like I said, it'll be like something where the Giants defense goes crazy. Abdul Carter gets 3 sacks. Brian Burns gets a forced fumble sack, and I mean like the likelihood of that happening. Yeah, the Chiefs' offensive line isn't the greatest at this stage because you know what I'm saying they just mixing and matching and stuff like that. But I mean if O line is giving up like that many sacks at that point, you know what I'm saying it's bigger issues than just starting 0-3. At this point, y'all season might be y'all looking at a top 10 draft pick. If that's the case, y'all losing to the Giants like that. But um, do I think the upset's gonna happen? Probably not. Like I'm be honest, I really, really can't see the Chiefs starting 0-3. Both teams are really playing for like their lives essentially. Brian Daboll is playing for his coaching career, and then Chiefs and Liddy's playing for their season. Which I mean, for them, I mean that's almost kind of the same magnitude when you got championship aspirations. Like it's literally like championship or bust for you know what I'm saying the Chiefs. So you go start 0-3, the season basically over with. Who cares about the playoffs at that point? We 0-3.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good game regardless. I don't think what we seen
Yeah.
from the Giants on Sunday was gonna be a normal. I don't think the offense is that high power. I think Nabers is legit. I think Wandell's legit. I think Russ is, like I said, at the end of his career. So I don't think that's something we'll see. I just think the secondary for the Cowboys wasn't really the greatest, and then the pass rush is, you know what I'm saying, wasn't the greatest either. So I think that's why we seen that. But with Spags, you're gonna get a whole bunch of exotic blitzes. You're gonna get zone blitzes, cornerback blitzes. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really know where anything's coming from. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the line comes together and things of that nature.
Funny enough,
It's good to see.
I think I could see the Giants sneaking away with that one. It's hard to see the Chiefs like going 0-3, but I don't know. Without those two starting receivers, we gotta see if Worthy's gonna be healthy. If Worthy's not healthy, I can see the Giants sneaking away a little bit, just because it's gonna be all up to if the Giants defense can stop the Chiefs offense. And I don't think it's too far fetched to say that they could do that with the old Kels, both of his receivers out. It's not unlikely. It's like it's possible, and the Giants have made some improvements. Like their defense, especially that line, it looks amazing. So we might see it. Might hey, that might be one you might need to bet on. That might be unlikely, but I can see it happening.
I agree.
But that's just
I
my hot take.
disagree. I'm a disagree, dog. I don't think that Giants are playing up to the potential they have on defense. There's no reason that they should be allowing 37, 40 plus points to the Cowboys. No reason with that defensive front. That pretty much showed me that okay, this team one they don't have the secondary like I thought they did, honestly. So, but this team definitely is viable to give up points no matter how good their front four, 4, 5, front seven is. With that being said, I think with someone like Pat that's just uber dangerous whenever the ball is in his hands, you got to be wary of the fact that you're not just playing the Chiefs, you're playing Pat Mahomes. So
Yeah,
I
because
just I just I
those
don't
drives
know
be.
how
Go
the
ahead, my
Giants
fault.
are going to be able to respond to like Pat and kind of how he is able to just take over games at sometimes. I think Dable no, you're good. I think Dabo is, like you said, on the hot seat. This pretty much is his job. And I thought it was crazy to start Russ at the beginning of the year with how high everybody was on Dart, how the media was sicing Dart. I felt it because it's like you want to give the veteran his run, but I think when you have a guy that can not only grow, but has the potential to be like one of the best quarterbacks in franchise history, just give him the reins early. Let him learn from the vet, and worst comes to worst, if he does end up crapping it out come week 4, bench him. Start Jameis, start Russell, and ride the season out that way. I think starting Russell was a mistake, and now his job is on the line. And kind of like we said, both teams is fighting for the playoff chances, and Giants fighting for their coaching. What there's a stat that is teams that start the year 0-3 have a 2.7 chance of making the playoffs. So
Mm.
we know that regardless of what happens after this game, somebody's job, someone's losing the job, whether it's a coach, player, personnel, it doesn't matter. Someone's going to be losing the job. It just sucks that the Giants have all this defensive potential and they're not using it to their highest ability. But I think that more or less leans on the fact that that defense won't necessarily say is young, but doesn't have like the high class, like big game experience that you would want from a defense that you think would be like up to that standard. Do I think they're better than a team like the Steelers defense? Heck yeah. I think the Steelers paid 80 million and $70 million for that defense. They one of the worst run defenses in the league right now. I don't think they're at that magnitude, but I do believe that with the talent you have at the front with Dexter, Abdul, Burns, Okereke, like you should be producing way more, doing a lot
Yeah,
more. And I think just me watching that Cowboys game let
because
me know that, oh yeah, this team is if you just
cause
play
they
a
got the pressure
top
they
15
needed to in that
quarterback,
game. Like I think
they're viable to
Dak
lose
got,
because
I
they
think
don't have
what's his
the
name? Abdul
secondary,
had like
nor I think the
5
secondary depth
pressures.
to
I think he had like
play
a
up with
sack.
those kind of guys.
Thibodeau had a crazy game. Burns had a crazy game. So it's not necessarily like the D line, but like we said, it's a secondary. I thought the secondary was. I didn't think that was definitely gonna be the
Yo, I
strong
think
suit. Like
half
I
a
knew,
sack.
like you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying, going into the season, like Banks. You know what I'm saying, he hasn't really panned out except like his rookie year, he was real good. But after that, it's kind of been like a regression. I thought a Debo would kind of be somewhat of an upgrade as like kind of like a fringe CB1, like not really the greatest, but with that D line, we could see like you know what I'm saying, you become an elite corner. You know what I'm saying, like we seen that with in Dallas, we seen like with like Diggs. I think Diggs is a really good corner, but whenever
yeah,
you pair him with like a Micah, all of a sudden it's like you know what I'm saying, he becomes an even better corner. Same thing with Bland, like you know what I'm saying, it becomes an even better corner whenever you have
Trey, yeah.
an elite pass rush. So I thought that's what we would see from the Giants corners going into the season. I like what I seen from Flott though. I think Flott's look really good.
Correct.
But outside of that, like I said, it's gonna be an interesting game because, like I said, our like the Giants' weak points in corner is basically what the Chiefs' weak points is right now, a receiver. So it's gonna be interesting to see like how Mahomes manipulates the game, because that's one thing that's demoralizing too. Whenever you get them third down stops, and Mahomes really good at that, he gonna find Kelsey running around, or he gonna run for the first down himself, which
Yeah.
in itself is another topic where Mahomes is the leading rusher on the Chiefs. I feel like that's probably where their issue is too.
Correct. That's a that's a really good point. I thought Pacheco would have reached his like potential right now or got to his ceiling or where like okay, it's a top 10 back, but they don't really have like the backfield that they've had years prior where they would like remix it. I think Kareem Hunt and Pacheco, I expected a lot more out of them. Kareem Hunt, especially being that he's been on this team with a couple stints. This is like his second or third stint as a Chief. So it's like for me, I'm more or less, but I kind of relate that to again O line. They just don't have the O line depth. Like you know what I'm saying? Their best guard was Tooney. He's a Bear now. So it's like when you lose a lot of that deep continuity that you have on the line, you can I kind of see it affecting them. I don't think it's more or less affecting Pat because I think Pat's gonna do what he do, but I think I'm seeing it affect all the other players like. Trav is just too old, man. Like when you're running into your teammate because you can't get off a press man, bro. You want to come on, bro. It's time to be a family man, dog.
Time
It's
to
just
wrap
what
it
it
up.
is. Yeah, it's time to go. Like you ready to propose to Taylor? Like we ready for you. Salute you, one of the best tight ends of our generation, bro. But it's time to go. Like you can't get off press man no more, bro. I understand you was going up against Derwin James and elite safety, but I remember 2, 3 years ago, we talking about one of the best route up tight ends ever. Like one of the best tight ends when it came to just route running in general, how he will manipulate his routes. And now I'm seeing him struggle with press man, and that's Pat Mahomes' go-to guy on third downs, on big conversions, on big plays. Do I like kind of like what Mark says? Do I still think if the Chiefs make the playoffs, they're dangerous? Yes, I still think if they get 3 or 4 games from the wild card on, they're a scary team. Honestly, you can't count them out. That's why I don't want to put too much stock into them going 0-2. But it should be a very compelling game, not only
Yeah,
because
and
the
that
Giants are pretty
I
much
feel like that
fighting for
fear
their head
around the
coach
league
at this
kind of
point,
disappears too.
but the
Like you
Chiefs
know what I'm saying?
also are pretty much fighting to keep
Once
their
you start, I mean, obviously
identity.
like it's
Because I
Mahomes.
have a
There's a
hard time
fear
believing if they lose
factor
this
there,
game to
but
the
I
Giants,
feel like
things
once you
don't
start 0
change.
and 3,
Like
it's almost
things
to
are
the
going to
point where it's
change.
like, bro, anybody could beat these. The Giants beat these guys.
Yeah, no one fares them no more. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Giants, like you know what I'm saying? Like we seen them lose to the Chargers. I forgot who they played last week. But then if they hypothetically lose to the Giants, and then yeah, and the Eagles, and then 3 games ago
Anybody
in the
can get
Super
the
Bowl, we
boys
seen them
out
just
of
get
here.
absolutely
Facts.
waxed. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like we start seeing like I thought you could start to see like a dynasty like unravel. Would I bet that the
Eagles. I
dynasty
think
is
it
over
was the
with?
Eagles, right?
I'm not betting against Mahomes, but it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see. And then, but yeah, that's my
Yeah.
take on it.
Definitely, definitely understand. Before we move on to the next team, do you guys think Malik Nabers is a top 3 NFL receiver?
Nah, he's a top 1 receiver. That's my take.
I'm gonna be so real. It's way too early to call, but for me personally, I would have him at 5 or 6. I think one more 1,200-yard season, wrap it up, boys. You're looking at a top three. You're looking at a top three, and it's gonna be all them LSU kids, man. Like it would be hard for me to see anybody else being better than Malik Nabers coming out the NFC other than Jettas. I think just for what he does, for how he just makes, how his body control, how he makes plays, how I'm starting to see defenses really like, oh yeah, we're gonna bracket him. We're not gonna
Yeah,
leave him 1-on-one.
I think the most impressive
The way
thing.
he,
Go ahead. My fault.
mhm. I think the way he plays in general too. Like I'm starting to just see defenses really just tailor their game plan around stopping one, and seeing that already in year 2 lets me know that oh yeah, this is one of the elite guys that's probably gonna shape the rest of the Giants culture if he stays with the Giants. I don't know if the Giants understand the potential they have on their hands because I seen them blow OBJ potential. Just
I'm saying this is the OBJ
I don't even know
situation.
where they sent him. They sent him to the nether. He gone. OBJ don't even exist no more in Giants lore. But I remember when they had another LSU receiver that had that same kind of moxie, that same kind of energy, and that's why I was so keen on starting Dart because I feel like if those are going to be the two guys you build your franchise around, just let them build the
Yeah,
connection early. Let them
that's what I'm gonna
fail
say too.
early. Let them succeed
I would say
early. Yeah, like just let them go through
Yeah, I
all
would say
that
that's the
early.
most impressive thing when it comes to his game. I feel like all the other top guys, Jettis. I mean, he right now he kind of going through a quarterback, you know what I'm saying, dilemma. But before he was top 5 his rookie year. He had Kirk Cousins, so he had that consistency. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying. And then we go to Sam Darnold, which is, I mean, not necessarily consistency, but I mean, you had stable quarterback play. CeeDee Lamb, you got Dak Prescott, who I think Dak is a top 10 guy, and then you got with Jamar Chase, top 5 guy that he's playing with. You know what I'm saying? So I think the most impressive thing with Malik is the inconsistency. Like, you went from with Jones, then you had
Mm.
Dart, then you had DeVito, then you had now you got you know what I'm saying? So to be able to still put up those numbers with inconsistent quarterback play, and you got a coach that's, I mean, offense is extremely lackluster since he's came in. Like, I feel like that's the most impressive thing. That's why I put him definitely. I feel like he's definitely a top 3 guy. So I feel like more so the conversation is, can he become a top 1 guy by the end of the season?
Think if he does, like he led the rookie, he broke the rookie receiving record. I thought that was super impressive for what he had to work with his rookie year. So if I can get even anything close to those numbers, he would be top 3 for me. I already have him fringe top 5, and honestly, on some days he might even be number 4, number 5. So for me to be just transparent and honest, it's just hard for me to put him over like well
That's
established,
fair.
high class, clearly number 1 receivers. It's just really hard for me because it's so early. But he has shown me that he's an X factor. He's a problem. He's the guy that defensive coordinators start film study for DBs, and they say, hey, we're not even going to talk about what the defensive game plan is first. We're going to address personnel, number 1. We got to lock in on him, and now we're going to address what the game plan is for the year. I'm already seeing that just from watching games, and he already had that in him. It's just one of those things where if I can get that consistency from him, despite the inconsistency he's going to have at quarterback, I won't be surprised if the Giants lose to the Chiefs and then I get to see Jameis, Russell, and Dart this year. I won't be surprised if I get to see all 3. And if Neighbors can show me he can produce with 3 different quarterbacks in 1 year, then it's for sure a top 3. I'd even put him over Jettis, honestly, just for what he would do for me if I were like an OC or if I was a DC and I had somebody that I had to like keep an eye on. Malik Nabers is a legit problem for sure. He's a legit problem. A legit problem.
Got you. Hey Jeff, I got a question for you. So segueing on to the next topic, which is the Eagles. Do you think AJ Brown is a top 5 receiver? Where would you say he compares to Neighbors?
The thing about him versus Neighbors is that I've just got to see more games out of Neighbors. Like Vic said, it's hard for me to put him right now over established receivers. But if AJ Brown in my rank is personally, he's 5. He's just right at 5. Of course, I'm gonna have to put in CD, Justin Jefferson, and Chase. There's gonna be a 4 guy right above him. I just don't have it in my head right now. But he's gonna be right at 5. AJ Brown is established. He showed us that he's that guy. I just think that QB play is holding him back. I mean, that Jalen Hurts stuff is going on is really ridiculous at this point. They're winning games, so it's hard for AJ Brown to like really complain in that space. But it's like, man, he is not getting the ball. I mean, we got to call a spade a spade. So it's like he's still top 5 to me, even though that production is that there. I just know that when he gets in the ball, I kind of see like a glimpse of like a mini Julio or something like that in him. He's really like up there on me.
Julio Jones?
Yes, a mini Julio, like a good,
Bro, y'all gotta stop this,
like a
bro.
Walmart
Stop this,
Goodwill
bro.
Julio. That is
Nah,
definitely that
man.
Walmart Goodwill Julio. He's just a big body
Nah,
that's just like
man.
hard to beat. He's
Stop
fast.
it,
He's
bro.
athletic. This is like just a
Stop it, bro.
Goodwill Julio. He's like right there,
Stop
man.
it.
I'm like, and honestly, I think Neighbors could be way better than him. We just gotta see more. I gotta see him
I,
against a good defense. I need to see him against like top corners and stuff like that. I just need to see that type of performance. Of course, he looked great
I,
against the Cowboys. I need to see just more games. That's all it is. But
Julio
AJ Brown
Jones?
is that guy. Yes, man. AJ Brown is that guy, man. I'm trying to tell you. We just
That's
not
disrespectful
seeing
to
it because
Julio.
of
I feel like
Jalen Hurts. That's the only thing I can really say.
what
It's
we've been
like
seeing from the
I
Eagles.
I
I
can
don't
don't
think
think this
imagine
is
Jalen
like
AJ
Hurts is
that,
Brown with
like,
holding back,
or from
though.
Hurts. In my opinion, I don't think this is that off from his other outside of that season where he was finna win MVP. This is kind of like relatively like the median, like in my opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think this is too. I mean, this is obviously below the
Yeah.
median, but a little bit below the median how he's playing right now. But this isn't that far off. Like, you know what I'm saying? That MVP season, he
yeah.
was great. You know what I'm saying? He was really, really throwing the ball over the yard, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. And then teams get film on you, and then, I mean, this is kind of what you get, you know what I'm saying, which I think he's still a good quarterback. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. And me and Vic was talking about it. The one thing Hurts going to do, he going to find a way to win, which is a trait in itself, in my opinion. I think it's a good trait for quarterbacks to have. Because Brady, in his last couple of years, he didn't have the same arm that he had whenever he was younger. But I'm going to find a way to win. I'm going to take what you give me. I'm not going to have like the pride where I still got to air it out all over the yard and I have to get these numbers. Bro, you want to let me throw for 120 yards? Cool. We won. I don't care. And that's one thing I can say with Hurts is, like, that, to me, that's one of his best traits. He finds a way. You know what I'm saying? So he beat the Chiefs. I think he threw for like 115 yards or something like that. Well, whatever, however much he threw for.
We don't take it.
You know what I'm saying? And then I think Chris Jones is like, bro, you barely had 100 yards. And Hurts is like, bro, I don't care. We won. So I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing I'll give Hurts. I don't think this is that outlandish in my opinion. And, bro, you have the best running back in the league on your team.
I was just about to say that. Like, when you have Saquon in the backfield, we don't really need to be doing all this air raid, throwing the ball. Like, for AJ, block some, boy. Like, go block. And I've never seen, I don't know where the AJ Brown top 5 receiver conversation came from. I know he had a really solid year. I want to say 2024, 2023. But, like, if I put him up against every other receiver from that time period, he falls right out of that for me personally. I can't put him over Jettis. I can't put him over Chase. I can't put him over CD. I have a hard time putting him over Puka Nacua. Personally, like St. Brown, I can't put him over Reek. I can't put him over Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, even though he's in hell right now in Miami, that's a whole different conversation. And he going through whatever he going through off the field. He's still a top 3, top 5 receiver on his worst day. It just so happens that he doesn't have he's in a worse quarterback situation than AJ Brown is. So I think to put AJ Brown in the same conversations as Julio Jones, as like these, I'm not saying AJ Brown isn't well established, but just to have AJ Brown in your top 5 is discrediting a lot of guys that's put in work. If you want to say he's better than St. Brown, fair. I'm not gonna argue. If you want to say that, that's cool. But again, for me, I seen St. Brown work with Jared Goff in an offense that was really like tailored for him to be a slot receiver, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna be slot. I'm gonna be outside. I'm gonna be flex Y. I'm gonna be Z. I'm gonna be whatever you want to be." And I just don't think if we're gonna put AJ Brown in these same conversations with these guys, I'm not saying AJ Brown isn't a tier 1 receiver. For me, I'm not putting AJ Brown over Mike Evans personally. I can't.
My argument is, like, I'm looking at the stats right now. So when it comes to pure passing yards, I don't care about winning or nothing like that. AJ Brown is just getting an unfair slice of the cake. I'm trying to tell you, it's like I'm looking at Jalen Hurts right now. He has 253 passing yards on the year. The only person that is under him is Justin Fields, Joe Burrow.
That was that bad.
And all running backs in the league.
But you gotta remember, they have an elite running back. That's kind of, I'm not expecting them to be, like, they have an elite, like, I'm sorry, we don't, and they have a crazy O-line. But that's
unacceptable. Hold on.
We don't need to pass it.
All the quarterbacks don't have the best running back in the league. And this is the Hurts. But I'm saying this is the Hurts we've always seen.
Jones.
Like that's what like kind of confuses me when it comes to Hurts.
This is consistent. Right now, the most ball passing, that he does.
The most touchdowns.
Mac Jones has more yards than him.
The most passing yards he has in the seasons was less than 4,000 yards.
I'm just saying AJ Brown just don't got the production. He just don't got it.
Like, and I'm not saying it's bad.
One game?
Wait, who you say got more yards?
Yards don't really mean nothing crazy. Jameis Winston
in one game has more yards than Jalen Hurts.
But you see what that offense doing right now, though. You see what that offense doing right now. I don't think they punted. They ain't punted a single time.
That's not that crazy.
How has AJ Brown had a chance to be a top 5?
You're not putting in totality. Like, you're really.
But
like,
I get what you're saying.
I feel like for an Eagles fan to say this, first of all, is crazy word. Let's just put that out there too. For an Eagles fan to be AJ Brown down is mind-boggling. But outside of that, it's an Eagles fan. Excuse me, Cowboys fan. For a Cowboys fan to be AJ Brown's down, mind-boggling. But outside of that, if you just think about it, how can you put him over? I couldn't even put him over like Cooper Cup when he went Triple Crown. I just can't do it. There's
It's hard
too
to put
much
anybody over that.
there's too much nuance to like receiver, especially in the last 2 years, for me to be like, yeah, AJ Brown's top five. I'll be discrediting Amon Ra. I'll be discrediting what Puka Nacua did. Hurt last year. Puka Nacua only had like 9-20, 9-15, and he was hurt last year. Imagine if he played a full season. AJ Brown isn't better than that. I'm sorry.
But
You can
but I
blame
just can't.
quarterback all you want, but I've seen Malik Nabers do much better or worse.
But I
And
can't.
if you
I can't
and
see
if you're
like
gonna
AJ Brown not balling with Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. You know how crazy both of them. Well, both of them would do with AJ Brown on their team right now. Ryan
Yeah, like
Tannehill
you
was
feel me? Like
hooping with
this
him.
for the last
Ryan
three
Tannehill was
years now.
hooping.
But this is the same Jalen Hurts that he's had his entire career. That's what I understand. I get what you're saying. But whenever,
Yeah,
Yeah,
whenever,
that is true. It is
with
true. But
Tennessee,
it is
it,
true. I give you
Jalen,
that
I
one.
don't
Jalen, I
know
mean, what's his
how
name? AJ Brown's doing better
if
now than
you
when he
can
was with
justify putting
than Ryan
AJ Brown in
Tannehill.
your top five. For me, then you can justify putting Devontae Smith in your top five. And
And the crazy thing is, with AJ Brown, he's kind of been like not in the same system, but relatively the same type of formula with a top back. He was literally with Derrick Henry, who at the time was the number one running back,
it's what it is.
and he was still.
But
It's the exact same
even
formula.
with the
Nothing's changed for
production,
AJ Brown. So like the production, I'm not saying
He's
this
gonna
on
have that
him, but
game.
this is just kind of just the way
nah, man,
the
I'm
season
not
going. I
sold,
mean,
bro. AJ Brown for
he's
me,
he's
this is
gonna
my
pop
personal
at some
opinion.
point in
I've always
time, in
said
my opinion. But it's just the way the
I
season
know
going.
ball player, AJ Brown's probably a problem to deal with on the field. Probably he's a faster version of DK. That's insane. I think that's a problem. Facts. But on film, nothing pops out for me. Nothing. Every time I watch from Tennessee on, I haven't seen anything that just makes me be like, yup, that guy right there, top three, top five at his position. No. For me, it's not possible. I don't. It might be just because there's so many elite guys at receiver. It might be because of scheme. You can blame quarterback all you want, but AJ Brown to me has not given me enough. Even despite some of the great years he's had with 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns, like even with some of those great years, when you look at it in totality with all his contemporaries, he's not in the top five. He's not. There's one outlier year where you can be like, okay, he was a top three receiver there. But other than that, totality, counting last year and then what we're seeing this year, he's not a top five receiver. Top six, cool. Top seven, cool. Number five, I couldn't even put him in my top seven. Honestly, I couldn't. I swear to God, I couldn't. But if that's what people want to place him at, I can understand it. But top five, that means he's in the upper echelon S tier, tier one receiver. I don't no. It's not for me. No, for what I want out of my receivers, no. Mm-mm.
Interesting, interesting. So before we move on to the next team, which is the Cowboys, what would you say the Eagles' outlook this season is? Even though their start has been pretty much okay, do you still think they have the potential to go back to the Super Bowl or get somewhere close?
They're still dangerous, bro. They're still. I
They're
think.
NFC East
Yeah,
championship
they're
team.
still dangerous. I think when you win,
I
you
think so.
mentioned something about
He had
this
the best
week.
running
You
backs in the
suffer
league.
from success. So when you suffer from success, you kind of get like when good things happen, you're kind of like, oh, well, this was supposed to happen. But you don't realize the work
Right.
you're doing. You're not realizing the work you've been doing to get yourself to these points to where like we can be
Good
successful.
things keep happening. Yeah.
So I don't think the Eagles, despite both wins being like real, we had to get it out the mud kind of wins. You know what I mean? Like that Cowboys game week one, I'm not gonna hold you. If CD doesn't turn into like Quentin Johnston from 2021, 2022, we probably having a completely different conversation. But it just so happens that CD Lamb wanted to drop three crunch time balls, and the Eagles was able to scrape away with the win. It just so happens that the tush push. I'm not gonna say that's the reason why they won, but the tush push is unstoppable. So they got easy free reign at the 1-2 yard line. They just got to sneak the ball, get it in there. That's quick. That's a quick seven. I'm not saying that's the only reason why the Eagles are winning. Obviously, their defense is crazy. They've been drafting like hell. Howie is the face of that franchise. How he drafts, how he does player personnel, I've never seen before. I think he's one of the best GMs of my generation, without a doubt. So they're not in bad hands. Their front seven is loaded. Backfield is loaded. Quarterback, I still think Jalen Hurts is great. O-line is still the best in the league.
Mm,
I said it. You can't talk ball with me if
Line.
Jalen Hurts not in your top five.
Yeah.
I still genuinely believe that, even with the slow start. Because like Mark said, you can't teach winning. I'm not gonna lie to you. Your ability to keep the game in control, to be able to will yourself to win, or not even will yourself to win, manage the winning, and having a winner trait is something that a lot of great quarterbacks don't have. It took Matthew Stafford a super team before he could win, and Matthew Stafford has always been elite. It took them boys trading for Jalen Ramsey and Von Miller to get them boys to where they need to be before Matthew Stafford could even see the light of day, before anyone could even stop throwing smut on Matthew Stafford's name. And if you know ball, Matthew Stafford been one of the best quarterbacks of his generation for sure. He make Matt Ryan look sorry. So for me personally, I don't think the Eagles should be concerned. I do think kind of like in the same realm as the Chiefs. They continue to have success. Teams are going to start figuring out ways to beat them. I haven't figured it out yet with that D line being hot, as impactful as it is, as they can rotate guys. The secondary just got reloaded. I think they had a really good draft again. In that secondary, they got another young corner in there to pair up with Quinyon. You know what I'm saying? To pair up with their two safeties in the back. I yes sir.
Yeah. And
Facts.
Hurts isn't Hurts isn't incapable. So like when you have like
He don't
yeah, he's
need to be
not
though.
incapable. Like
Yeah, when
like
he don't.
he's not the
Yeah,
crazy 300-yard a game guy, but he can go for 300.
they got
Load the box if you
Dotson
want to.
in the
You still
slot.
have
Like they
AJ
got they
Brown. You
got
still
they
have
got
Devontae
they got
Smith. You know what I'm
boatload of
saying?
weapons,
So
man. They
it's
they
I wouldn't
start
say
in
it's over with.
22 is
Yeah.
vicious, and I'm not gonna hold you. The team that can knock them off, I wouldn't be surprised if they only lose 2 games this year, and I bet you they're gonna be divisional games. I bet you they're gonna be divisional games. They got yeah.
To me, it's remind me like the 2018 Patriots a little bit, where it was like how do they keep winning? Like, you know what I'm saying? This team is
No,
trash,
this is
but they
actually
keep winning
they
games.
had
Like,
a great
you know
team.
what I'm saying? And then at the end of the season, we look at it, it's like,
Like,
no, they had the defensive player of the year. They had the greatest quarterback of all time. You know what I'm saying? You start just thinking about like the actual team makeup, and it's like it might not have been a whole bunch of flashy big names. Which the
yeah,
Eagles do got flashy big. They got Saquon and
I just
AJ
don't
Brown.
see a
You know what I'm
team that's
saying?
gonna
But
beat them in the
that probably
NFC,
gonna be the
bro.
type of
Other
season for
than
them at the end of
my
the
two
season. If they
losses to
do
them,
win, we'll
I
look
got
back
them
and be
really
like,
literally
bro,
only
we
losing
was
two
tripping.
games, and
Like
I
this is
think it's gonna
like
be
this is
divisional
the most
games just
easiest
because
prediction ever.
divisional
Like
games
it
are
was
always harder. But
just look
I
at the
can't
team
see
construction.
anybody out the NFC when it comes playoff time giving them more. I just can't. I think the Rams have the best chance off of Sean McVay can scheme something
NFC,
up
I like
to challenge them. Maybe you know what I'm saying? But they played in the snow, and I know them LA
and
boys
they
just
had them
wasn't ready
last
for the
year.
snow. Maybe, maybe we see something out of Baker because what Baker showed me this year, because Bake showed me he got that dog in him too. You can make an argument that I'm tripping. Jalen Hurts is not top five. Throw Baker in there. Baker is actually a top five quarterback. So I don't know what the Bucks can do in terms of their players and how they can scheme something up. But I think if you want to just look at this Eagles roster, there's no fall off coming no time soon. And the team that's going to have to knock them off, they're going to have to play some of the best football we've seen in the last 24 months, 18 months, for real.
I like
I don't
for
think the
the
Packers
NFC
match
team
up as
that
well.
dirty
I don't
matchup.
think
Like
I don't
they,
think I don't think
I like
Love can handle
the
that front
Cowboys and like
seven,
the
man. I don't
Packers.
think
I think those are the
Love
only
is
two
built,
teams
and
I think have a
they
legit
really
chance. Yeah.
don't have the receiving core to go bump for bump. They just lost Reed for the year. I don't think they have the receiving core to go bump for bump, man for man with that secondary. I
that
just don't.
defense
I
though.
just don't see it. I can't see it, and I just don't know if Love can handle them boys for a full 60 minutes, like just going crazy. Do I think their defense can hold Jalen Hurts to 17 points? Yeah, for sure. I think with Micah Parsons and them boys, yeah, for sure. I think them even making the call for Micah Parsons lets me know that the Packers believe that they can go bump for bump with the Eagles. But do I actually believe that? Not really. I'll be honest, not really. I don't think they have the offensive personnel or the offensive firepower to go blow for blow against them boys when it come playoff time. I don't see it.
Man, I seen how they did the Lions. I thought the Lions were gonna have a down year. Their offense is still explosive. That next game following the Packers.
You
I
know, we about
don't
to slap
know.
them boys up.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Only
We about
time
to
will
slap
tell.
them
We
boys
have to
up
see.
on Sunday, boy. We gonna get them boys
For
belt,
sure.
super belt, man.
Only time will
You know
tell,
that
man.
flock gonna get them boys. Super belt.
That Lions team, I thought they fell off after they faced the Packers.
You about
That
to
defense
see the
legit.
fall off. Nah, the fall off real. No. Don't get twisted. We about to get them boys some crazy work.
Still got it.
We ain't talking more the whole pod yet, boy. You already know you know what time it is, bro. You ain't gonna talk about the best quarterback in the league. We know what time it is.
For sure, for sure. Moving on to the next topic, which is the Cowboys. So currently they're 1-1 after trading Micah Parsons. How do you feel, Jeff, about the new head coach y'all have?
So the main thing I would say about him, Scotty, my boy, he's a culture changer. He's a culture changer. Like that's the main thing I'm seeing. And between that and all the motion snaps that we're seeing, all the it's giving Dak chances to read defenses better and things like that. But the main thing is he's a culture guy. He might just keep his job off or alone. Like those dudes like Scotty. I don't know why, but Scotty brings that culture change, and everybody's loving it. He got Jerry Jones in the locker room screaming after the game. I was like, I ain't never seen that man yell in his life. I was like, bro, he got a culture change, man. That was crazy for me to see because I didn't like the signing at first because I didn't know ball. Scotty came in and changed the culture, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so bad. Like, it's amazing. That's the main thing I like. Him and Aubrey, they're carrying me right now. And Dak, of course. But the coach 10 out of 10.
That's a nepo hire, man. Sorry to say.
But it was a good one.
Got so much clout.
It was a good one.
Shout out Coach Schottenheimer, man. The real Marty. Shout out Marty, man.
Sometimes
I think that's a nepo
talent
hire.
carries over.
Y'all gonna see, because Cowboys culture ain't dictated on head coach. I tell you that much.
I like him better than McCarthy.
By big boy, yeah. You know what I'm saying? The man that run the Star, the man that owned Dallas. You know, the biggest in Dallas. You know, and as long as that family running that team, y'all ain't gonna see no success. Just get used to the aura, man. Because I'm not moved. The 1-1 is exactly what I expected. 1-1 is exactly what I expected.
I feel something different though.
It's literally the same team with less pass rush.
I probably say the
With less
team.
pass
Like,
rush.
the
DBs.
Y'all had to bring your Davion Clowney off the couch.
Wilson.
I speak for everybody,
cool.
but but the DBs, man. I don't know, but we also don't have that.
Davion Clowney just got arrested.
I think we just won.
This is terrible. That's literally everything.
I think we fell off
right now in 2025. That's at least 60% of football. Having pressure on the quarterback. If y'all can't generate pass rush, it's RIP. And we just saw Russell Wilson turn the clock back on y'all. How? If it wasn't for Brandon Aubrey being hold your wrist up, if he wasn't one of them young niggas that was just stunting hard on everybody, great kicker, where would y'all be at? Honestly, y'all would have lost to the Giants.
I just think the biggest thing.
If the Giants' offense, honestly, just wasn't tired, because that's what it looked like when it came to OT. That offense and that defense was just tired. If them boys wasn't tired, y'all probably would have lost. Y'all got into a shootout with the Giants.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson. What?
Bro, Giants ain't scored 30 points in, bro, God knows how long, bro. We scored 30 points. I think, we scored 30 points twice in the past, maybe 2-3 seasons, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I can't even hold you.
Last time we scored 40 points, man, I might have been in middle school.
40 points was the Obama administration. I couldn't tell you how that, as a Cowboys fan, you're confident in Coach Schottenheimer. I feel it though, but this is what I expected.
It's two big things with that. So, first of all, they went crazy for that run game. They got rid of everything we knew about with pass rush for that run game. And our corner room without Bland, it's suspect with Diggs coming off of that injury. And it's our defensive coordinator, Heberfru. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But yeah, he had Wilson out there playing high safety. It was just bad. It was bad scheming. Hooker is right there. I'm like, Hooker is a great free safety.
What can he work
Why
with?
is Wilson out there by himself when he's a good box safety, coming down the line? It was just some defensive schemes that I think it was out of Scotty's control. I mean, I can't really blame him on that. I won't never blame Scotty for that. But I mean, I understand that, and I see, and I thought that was gonna happen. Them corners were not ready. Diggs. He kind of still worries me out for that injury, and we don't got that pass rush. I think
he's not the same corner. I like Diggs. I think Diggs, when healthy, is an elite corner, but I think, was it back-to-back injuries? Back-to-back years he
Yeah,
got in.
he can't do that
He's
ball
not
hawk
the
shit
same.
where he let
Yeah,
niggas get
he can't.
away
Yeah,
and try to catch up.
yeah.
It just doesn't
You
work no
can
more.
see his lateral quickness. I want to say it's effective, but it's definitely he's tailored it so where he won't hurt himself again. And once you start
Yeah.
playing like that, bro, it's time to
You
wrap it
got
up,
to
big
be
boy.
like just a
He's not the same
coverage
corner.
corner. You cannot be a ball hawk no more. You can't
Yeah,
take them
and
risks.
he was never a coverage corner, to be honest. He was always
Yeah,
I'm gonna bait you if I get cooked, I get cooked. But if I bait you, you better not throw it because I'm athletic enough to go up and get it.
and
So
now he's
now he's
not.
being forced to play to be a cover corner, and I never knew him as a cover corner at any point. Again, I knew Trae Diggs as a receiver coming out of Maryland.
Hmm.
So the fact that he now has to change his whole kind of play around, and I love Trae Diggs. I think Trae Diggs is a
Yeah.
hot class talent. Him and Bland it should be on paper lockdown corners. But again, it's one of those things where I don't think that the Cowboys are in any better position than they were last year. You gave up all your pass rush to help the running game. And I'm not gonna lie, Williams has looked impressive. I ain't gonna hold you. Williams has looked impressive more than I expected. But where do we go from this? Like this isn't anything. We don't. They don't look better and they don't look worse. It looks literally like the same team. It genuinely looks like the exact same team.
4 first-round picks. That's all I can give them. I mean, that's all that comes with it. And we stopped Saquon. We stopped any other running back. That's all I got for him. The defense is just not ready for anything but the run game at this point. And I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I know we took some
2025.
steps behind, but like, what are we gonna do now? Are we going to get Trae? Are we going to actually go that route? I don't know. I don't think so. It makes sense to me, but I don't know what the business side of standpoint or what they talking about in the background, or if they even care. Jerry might not even call the Bengals, knowing him.
I mean, the Bengals season's pretty much over. I ain't gonna lie to you. So that might as well be the best thing
And
you
Trae,
can do.
they don't
Call
want
Trey
to sign
Hendricks.
Trae long term.
Let him know.
For some reason, they don't want to sign Trae long term. Just give 1 first-round pick. They don't want to.
He yeah. He
It's
signed with a
crazy work,
one-year deal.
but shout out
I would.
FAU, man. They
A
produced
first
If
that.
I
round
was the
pick.
Shout
Bengals,
out
I would be
FAU, man. They
going
produced
crazy
that.
for that. But that means I don't think Dallas should do it.
And as I'm saying, Dallas should not be. I mean, I'm a Giants fan, so y'all trade a first round
For a
pick.
Green Bay
Salute. You know
pick,
what I'm saying? But
But they need so
I'm
much
not mad
pass
at it. I'm
rush.
not
It
gonna
wouldn't
lie.
more
be. It's
power
not
to
even
you.
out of the
But
question. They need so much pass rush.
They
I
need,
can't even be mad at them if they gave up a first and a
and it's a
third
Green
for
Bay
Trey
first
Hendrickson.
round pick. The Green Bay Packers might go deep. I give up that first round. That's gonna be basically a second round pick by the time the Packers are done.
yo,
Well, since we were talking about the Bengals, this is actually a great segue into the next topic. I don't know how you would feel as a Bengals fan for any Bengals fans that are watching, but what would you say the future is for the team and the
I need to
franchise
stop
after
laughing.
Joe Burrow going
The
down?
dove
You boy
emoji.
done cursed him.
The
I
dove
don't know how the
emoji.
hell since the day they drafted him, the boy ain't had a lick of line. He took them boys to the Super Bowl, the party, the biggest joint in America. I'm talking about this like I don't even know what you could compare the Super Bowl to. This like the only time America can like just sit down and like cool out. Took him to the Super Bowl with no line. And them boys at no point was like, Lyle Collins is enough. What? I can't. This is exactly what they deserve. They saw everything that happened to Andrew Luck and how he had to literally retire because he had no line for 8 years. And they thought, well, Joe can get us through. And they reaping all of that. So as a Raven fan, I'm laughing to the bank. I feel for Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow, elite quarterback, one of the best that I've ever seen come out of LSU, if not one of the best that the AFC North has to face every 2 times. It sucks that it had to be him again. Like not nobody from that front office took like his career serious enough. And the worst part
mm-hmm.
is, I feel like Joe is such a because he's from Ohio too, so I know he loves the Bengals. I know he loves Cincinnati. He loves playing for his home state. Ohio kid through and through. This is probably what he dreamed of, honestly. So I know he don't probably want to leave Cincinnati. But at what point does he have to sit back and be like, yeah, these boys not serious. They not. They cool with just being in the playoffs. They not really serious about giving me the protection I need. Cause in all reality, this team's offensive line has never been pass pro proficient. From everything I've seen, they've been more tailored to the run and the quick game, in my honest opinion. And I think just because Joe has shown them, like, shoot, you give me 2.5 seconds, I'm gonna let that boy rip. I got Jamar in the cut, man. We about to boom on him, like brr, like we got it. But you can't do that in modern day football. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable ball. It's honestly unethical ball. It's unethical to be letting your quarterback get hit as much as Joe Burrow has been hit in the last 5 years, 4 years, honestly. And like, and I'll be so yeah, yeah,
I mean, I could see that.
no,
I can see
no.
that they've tried to make like changes. Like I said, the Lyle Collins change. They tried to change their offense clearly from like, you know what I'm saying, pass first to they brought in running backs and stuff like that to, you know what I'm saying, take pressure off of Joe. I think some of it is on Joe too. I mean, because sacks isn't always necessarily like a line stat. Sometimes the quarterback just takes unnecessary hits. And Joe's the type of guy who's going to hold on to the ball and try to get everything he can out of a play. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying all the sacks are on him. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's the same as it almost is like Andrew Luck. It's almost like Andrew Luck, Wentz, Joe Burrow. Those guys are almost kind of the same where I got to get everything I can out of this play. I don't care that the play's dead. I don't care that I just need to throw the ball away. I'm going to like.
I want that on my quarterback.
You do. You do want the quarterback, but
Yeah.
whenever you on your like fourth injury in 5 years,
this is not the first time Joe Burrow has
don't
missed a
want that
considerable amount of
quarterback
time
anymore.
But that's my point. If they know that he's been getting smacked around like the way he has, get him the most elite. Y'all should have traded for Joe Tooney. Y'all should have paid Tooney the big bucks to go protect that boy. Really? Shouldn't have been the Bears. Should have been y'all. If y'all was serious. If y'all was really serious about protecting Joe Burrow and keeping him in Cincinnati for his entire career, you should have gave him all the line work in general. Lyle
It's hard
Collins
to
was
do
never
that
going to be
though.
enough.
It's hard. It's hard to do that.
But
When
that's
you
their
paying
fault.
Joe,
That's their fault.
you paying
That's their
Higgins, you
fault.
paying
That's their
Jamar,
fault.
and then you got
Me personally,
Hendrickson.
I would have never.
Asking for money too. It's not their fault.
They
Jamar
should have
said,
been playing with Higgins
y'all
in the
pay
first place. They
Higgins
should
or
have
I'm
got rid of him
leaving.
long before if they wasn't going
I
to
would
play
have
with him.
told Jamar, shut the
Yeah, I
hell
was
up,
like,
and here's
They
200
had no
million.
choice
it
but
should
Shut
to
the
have
sign
hell
never
up,
Higgins.
here's
got to that
200
point.
million.
They was playing with Higgins for so long, they had no choice. Stop playing with them
That's
boys.
ridiculous, bro.
Stop
No,
playing with
I
Higgins for
would have
that
told
long.
Jamar, boss, do you want Joe to die? Are you serious right now? Do you want Joe? Do you want your quarterback to die? We can't pay T. We literally cannot pay him.
Stop
Now we
franchise
stuck in a
tagging them.
position where you got literally. That's worst come. I was like, bro, we gonna have to franchise tag. Worst come to
They
worst.
did
Worst
him
come to
wrong.
worst. They should never even gave all the money they did to their defense. Their defense is too poo cheese for all the money they making too, in my honest opinion. So they put themselves in this hole. But once they realized they was in this hole, the first thing they should have did was looked around and said, "Damn, hey T Higgins, God bless you, boy. Why don't you go be a Carolina Panther today?" Like that's what should have been the first thing they should have did. They should never have put themselves in the position to be held hostage by their players. Am I mad that Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrows got paid? As a Raven fan, no. As a player first kind of commentator, lover of the game, no. But when I think about it from a business perspective, how the hell did you get held ransom by your players? That lets me know you're not a serious organization to begin with. How? And the fact that Joe was willing to take all the pay cuts in the world to get that done lets me know the kind of ball player Joe Burrows is, but also lets me know that Cincinnati did not take it serious when they was getting held hostage, and they didn't actually do their due diligence in getting protection for their guys. I don't know if this is one of those things where, again, you could have been sent Trae. You could have been told Trae bounce. Forget it. We just not gonna have pass rush. We gonna live and die by Joe Burrows and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, since they said they won't get paid. That's what they. If that's what it really would have come down to. But instead, they got held hostage by their players. Now their starting quarterback is hurt. You can pretty much call the season a wash. I don't know what they're gonna do at quarterback. They still don't have a defense, even with Trey Hendrickson playing. They don't have anything. It's like, guys, what were y'all doing in the year after the Super Bowl, where the year y'all made it to the Super Bowl and ran up against the Rams, and you saw Joe Burrow that whole game get pretty much pressured out the wazoo. I'm a buku pressure. Aaron Donald, Von Miller giving him all kinds of work. You saw that happen, and at no point did it dawn on you like, damn, bro, we should get O-line. No, it didn't. So before you even had to pay Jamar and T, at no point did it dawn on y'all like, damn, we just got harassed for 60 minutes in the biggest game of our franchise. And at no point did y'all think, damn, let me get Joe some protection. That's on y'all, and I have no sympathy. I have no sympathy. Personally, the Bengals put themselves in this position, and if, again,
Yeah.
I would have never even gave Trey Hendrickson the signing bonus, I would have sent him packing. I would have traded him
I would have traded him.
as
Yeah,
for as
I would have
much as we
traded him
could
for
have
as
got.
much as we could have.
Facts.
Right, especially after last
having
season.
two back-to-back double-digit
Yeah.
sack years, I would have sent him to somewhere like Arizona, Dallas after they traded.
Yeah. We
traded
would have
him
franchise
instantly
tagged
and
him and
got
traded
whatever
him.
we could have got out of it. But instead, you got held ransom by your players. You're not a serious franchise. To me, you can't be.
Cause I'd imagine you probably could have got some. I'd imagine Green Bay called
Fact, if
at
they was
some
gonna
point in
call, if
time
they
about
got what
Trey
they got from
Hendrickson.
Micah, yes,
You know what I'm saying?
100%,
Before
I
they
believe
shifted
that.
to Micah.
They had to.
I'd imagine it probably wouldn't have been the same trade package, but you would have got something in return. You know what I'm saying? Rather than you probably gonna end up getting nothing. You got kicked.
I guess so. I wonder what happened. Probably gonna wait like a minute and see if we come back.
Nah, I was sweating crazy, but I had to get that. I had to get that. Yeah, I had to get the game towel on me. I had to pull out that game towel. I was getting too passionate out here, man. I had to pull out the game towel.
Yes, please. Help us
I had to pull out the game towel. Yeah, I had to pull out the
Nah,
game
that'd
towel,
be a
man. I was getting a
crazy
little toasty,
blooper. I'm
man.
not gonna lie, that's a crazy blooper.
Man, yeah. I had to pull out the game towel, bro. It was getting a little grease.
Nah, I feel you. Keep that in. But like, moving on to the next topic. So, as of right now, Daniel Jones has been pretty impressive for
Crazy.
the Indiana Colts. Do you think that's gonna be something that's gonna maintain throughout the whole season?
I have no idea, though.
Turn
I don't
around for
know.
the
That would be
year?
insane.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
So,
That would be
Don't know.
insane.
it's not, bro. Bro, it's
I've
not,
never
bro. Bro,
seen
this looked like last year when the New Orleans Saints, they offense for the first 2 weeks of the season looked like Derek Carr was lighting them up. That's literally what it looked like to me. It was lighting
Hey,
them
you
up.
would know.
I never really thought
You
Daniel
would
Jones
know.
honestly was a bad quarterback, in my opinion. As Vic, I've always been like
I like
he
Danny
has the
Jones.
traits
Yeah,
to be a
facts.
good quarterback. Do I think he's gonna revert back to what he was in New York? No, I don't think he's gonna. It's just less pressure. I ain't gonna lie, New York just off of the system wasn't in the best situation. He wasn't developed right, but just off of the pressure of New York. You know what I'm saying? That alone can, like, you know what I'm saying, make a quarterback falter. So I feel like now he playing in
No.
Indiana. There's no pressure. He basically. He basically playing the 12 a.m. slot every
And they
single
don't
day.
nobody expecting
Play,
that.
like,
See, the
every
backup
day on
quarterback, they're
CBS.
not expecting the same thing they were expecting in New York.
You know what I'm
No
saying?
one's talking about how Anthony Richardson's career
So
is over.
do I think he's gonna continue being? Yeah, do I think he's gonna continue being the number 2 passer in football for the entire season? Absolutely not. I think he's gonna probably finish the season with maybe 4,200
Amazing.
yards, which is a good season. Maybe
Amazing.
26 touchdowns, good season still. You know what I'm saying? Which I think that's what he ended up being. Do I think he's gonna continue on this streak? But he hasn't really played good team. He played the Dolphins, who are probably the worst team in football, and he played who was it, the Broncos? Broncos is a decent team, you know what I'm saying? And you won against the Broncos. But if you watch the film, I ain't gonna lie, I watched the breakdown of the film. It wasn't the greatest game. He was throwing the ball all over the yard, but
Joe
it was like
Flacco
9
ball.
throws where it was like he was begging to get like the Green Goblin mask was talking to him, like begging for him to turn back to New York Daniel. But like how he's playing right now, this is how would I've hoped I would have seen from him in New York. Like this is what I would have expected. Like the vision I had of whenever I was like, bro, I don't think Daniel Jones is a bad quarterback. I think Dayball can bring that out of him. This is what I envisioned. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks to see it somewhere else.
It could be because of
But
less
do I,
pressure.
No, I think it's coaching. I think it's coaching
I
more
say,
than
I-
anything. Actually, I think coach. I think their
Yeah,
head
I agree
coach
with
is
that
an
too.
offensive, one of them young offensive menaces. You know what I'm saying? And he's been able to galvanize and bro, with the fact,
He was there
yeah,
for Jalen
like
Hurts MVP
with the
season.
fact that one, we saw Anthony Richardson kind of
Amen.
like just falter under that same system, and then to see Daniel Jones succeed lets me know, one, that Daniel Jones was always capable of playing at an NFL level. He might have been one of those guys that maybe was like a Sam Darnold, where it just took him time to really get his reins upon him, and he had to suffer in New York to finally figure out. Do I believe that it's sustainable? I genuinely don't know. But I gotta let the season play out. The AFC South looks sweet in all reality. Shout out Cam Ward, but Tennessee finished. I
Yeah.
don't know. No hope in Tennessee. The Jags, who knows what's going on with them? Duval, I don't know what's going on in Duval. The Colts really looking like the best team to come out of that division. I said NFC, AFC, the AFC South. Like I really don't know if it can be sustained. Do I think the Colts are a playoff team? Not gonna lie, especially if they can win all their division games. Yeah, if you can beat a really good team like the Broncos, who I had coming through, especially being like a sixth, fifth seed, you know what I'm saying, into the playoffs. I think you viable of doing anything at this point. Personally, I think they went blow for blow with a really good Broncos defense and pretty much put the league on watch. I just don't. I just don't want to say like it's not sustainable from what I've seen in the past from Danny. Again, a lot of that stuff I seen in the past was poor mechanic, but that's because he was in New York, battle line, coaching staff all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't even think the owner liked the guy, to be honest with you.
His issue. The
Oh,
owner
really?
loved him. I ain't gonna lie to you,
I
but
couldn't tell.
I thought his issue was always just like inconsistency. So I feel like he was able to like do games like last year or the year last year, the year before, I don't remember, but he had a game like he had like the Cardinals where we came back like down 27 or something like that. He can have games like this, just the consistency, him stringing it together. You know what I'm saying? It was just always up and down with Daniel. So I feel like now, I say like not the pressure like Ed said, not being in New York, you in Indiana, you playing the morning the first game, first window every
Every
day,
day,
12 a.m.
yeah.
Indiana or 12 p.m. You know what I'm saying? So it's no issue. Like I said, I don't think he's gonna finish number 2 in passing by the end of the season. But I think, you know what I'm saying, he'll probably put together like something like his rookie season
But
where I think he had like 3,800 yards, 4,000 yards, whatever it was, and 26 touchdowns, 12 picks, which is a good enough season. You know what I'm saying? That's a solid season.
amazing for Daniel Jones. But I will say a lot of this, and no one gives the guy his love. He is like baby Saquon. JT, man, Jonathan Taylor is a stud, bro. Legit stud. These first 2 weeks, he's legit. I know the injury concerns was always a big thing for me at him at back, but he showed me he's different, man. I don't know how he didn't make the NFL top 100 list. Please fact check me on that, but I don't think he's anywhere on that list. He finished top 3, top 5 in rushing again. And this is coming off of injuries, coming off of really or not really having the O line that he would need. This is coming off of just really, and I'll be honest, them boys in Indiana are more trained to block than they is to go catch the football with their receivers. So it's for me, I
Yeah.
think just having the fact that now Daniel Jones has a team, not only one that believes in him, ownership that gave him a shot and they reaping the fruits of the benefit. He not playing with any pressure. He in Indiana. They're getting that 12 p.m. Sunday slot every time, no prime time shows. It's beautiful to watch it. That's why I don't want to say, because this could be where like Daniel Jones becomes everything that he was drafted to be. Because I thought even coming out of college, Danny Jones was decent. I think they reached? Yes. But I did think he was a first round pick at the time when they wanted to draft him. I thought the Giants 100% reached when they picked him. But I thought he had certain tools that he could, in a scheme that
Late
fit
first
him,
round
that
pick.
that he could benefit. And I'm watching it in real time beat to his benefit. I think, like y'all saying, is it sustainable? Can he be consistent? These are questions that I want to know answered. I bet Colts fans are begging to get answered too. But this is way better than anything Anthony Richardson gave us in the last 18, 24 months. That boy is a super bust. He don't even like getting hit. Get that boy, pack his bags up, trade him to, I don't even know, you can send him to the CFL for all I care. Anthony Richardson is a super bust. So get him out of there. We got, worst come to worst, Worst come to worst with Daniel Jones, shoot, we just gonna live with the fact that we gonna be a 7-win team. We gonna be way better off than what we was getting with Anthony Richardson. There's no disrespect to Anthony Richardson the person, but the Anthony Richardson the football player don't like football. I've been said this. The first preseason game I watched, him get hit. I said it. I was like, bro, he don't like playing football. I promise you, you don't. I promise you don't. When you that big and you wincing after, I'm not gonna say these love taps, but bro, you too big to be wincing. Like after hits, like bro, you know what you signed up for, big bro. You was a top 3 pick. Get right or get left. Like we thought you was gonna be the second coming of Cam. I think that's probably what it is and why I feel so hurt about it. And to see that Daniel Jones, a guy that was written off in the same offensive scheme, is having the success that Anthony Richardson should have had, it doesn't even matter for me at this point if Daniel Jones is consistent. I think this is just a better starting point for anything the Colts have had at quarterback and since Andrew got smacked out of town. So yeah.
Okay. Well, good talk. But moving on to the opposite end of like a player being underwhelming, Caleb Williams. Do you think his season can turn around? These 2 games are just a fluke, or this is just the nature of the player that he's gonna be?
Which one was it?
Uh,
Which one of y'all said Caleb Williams was coming up, man? I don't want to put it on flip. I don't want to put it on flipper. Was it
no,
Jeff?
I think so. What? No,
You know,
what I said with Caleb Williams, I said if Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts can be successful in this league, I think all from the Lincoln Riley system, I think Caleb Williams can because he was the
Doesn't
best in
have
college at all of those guys.
boss. He doesn't even have the footwork. He doesn't even have the pocket presence. That
But the thing is,
stop it.
I get
Won't,
what you're saying. But the thing with
he
Caleb
got
Williams,
talent.
he's just talent wise, he's more talented than all
of
those guys.
course,
He
but
got the
talent don't
talent.
matter in the NFL. Bro, I said
I
this
get what
from
you're
the
saying, but so
no,
the thing
no.
with Caleb not far off, bro. I ain't gonna lie to
He's
you.
not
And I'm
far
not even the
off.
biggest. I never thought that he was gonna come in the league, beat Mahomes. We said that whenever we was in Chris's studio. I never thought. I thought
Yeah,
he would be
I
what
thought with all the
Baker is,
help,
like around with Baker. I
crazy.
thought his peak would be like that, which is a good quarterback, top 7, top 8. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you want to put him at, I still think Caleb can reach that point. You know what I'm saying?
Breeze.
But now when you in a whole different system, but he hasn't really had the best situations he's came into. You know what I'm saying? Granted, he was the number 1 pick. Sometimes you got to overcome that system. Cam Newton did it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So that's the number 1 pick. Andrew Luck did it. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So, but do I think Caleb is like a bust?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't say he's a bust.
Wow.
He's a decent quarterback, bro.
No.
They won like 7 games last year. Like, he wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying?
They
So
won
and this
7
year
games.
he
The
got
defense
3 touchdowns, 1
like
pick this
that.
year. So it's not like he's doing horrible. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh my God.
I think with him, bro, I think when it comes to when you watch his games, so when I watched that Vikings game, what it looked like to me, which is crazy because the thing with Caleb, what he was so good at, like in college, was the off the script things. But like when it coming into that game, it's like he was really, really good at the beginning of the first half or the first couple of drives. Whenever all those plays are scripted, once it got to, hey, Ben Johnson's calling plays as the game goes on for whatever the game needs. It's like he kind of like it just I don't know what happened. It's like that like that magic we saw from him in college, which that's whenever he was good. Like that's literally what he was good at. The whole thing of Caleb coming into the league was he's not good in structure. So for him that he was really, really good in structure to start the game to the second half was interesting to me. Which tells me it's partially confidence, it's partially not knowing the system yet. You know what I'm saying? Which is
But
fair.
what does that say
Ben
about
Johnson,
you as a quarterback, bro? As the leader of the team? How don't
I don't
He's
think that's an
I
young.
can't make
indictment on him
excuses for
though.
that. I
He's
can't make
young.
excuses
Ben
for that.
Johnson's system isn't easy though. It's not like
That is true. It's
Ben
not.
Johnson. Cause you gotta remember, bro. Jared Goff didn't learn the system till I think they was trash year 1, and then you know what I'm saying. Then the year 2 they started kind of figuring it out, and they ended up winning a couple games, and they went on a crazy run. And then year 3 is whenever they finally figured it out.
They all kicked off, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They finally figured it out. That system's not an easy system to learn. And Ben Johnson said it. He said, bro, we don't have good practice and habits. And I'm gonna be honest, that's not the greatest like team around him. DJ Moore is good, but at this point, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was never a big Rome fan, honestly. I was never the biggest fan of his. I think Rome is good, but I was never the biggest, I always thought he was a wide receiver too. The tight end they drafted seemed like he a bust. They should have drafted dude that went to Indianapolis.
Yeah, Warren.
Yeah, they should have drafted Warren, and then they drafted, I think, Loveland is his name. I don't know his last name.
I'm from
They
Michigan.
ended up drafting him instead, so that was clearly the wrong pick. The line is mediocre. Running back, they have no run game at all. So it's like he's not in the best system. Like granted, like I said earlier, he wasn't number 1 pick. Sometimes you got to overcome that. It's not fair. You got drafted the worst team in the league for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They was a little different because that was the Panthers pick, but it was a bad team nonetheless because they had the 11th pick. Then they drafted Rome with that pick. So he wasn't necessarily in the greatest situation, but I'm not out on Caleb. He has been underwhelming, but I'm not out. I don't think it's over with. You know what I'm saying? I still think he can reach a top 10 quarterback at some point in time.
I agree.
I think right now he's in the upper half of the league. He's not a bottom half quarterback. So you don't think he can reach 5 more slots?
And anything that he needs corrected.
I don't even think he's in the upper. I don't think he's in the upper half of any of the No,
do you feel
I
like
could
it's
not
his
even.
process?
I can name 15 quarterbacks right now that's better than
Do you feel like
Caleb Williams.
what do you think his issue is? Because if it's processing, that can be fixed.
Like everything can be coached.
Not his processor. His processor is like that 2005 Intel joint. You can't get that joint updated to 2025 software, bro. It's gone. I'm sorry to tell you. My biggest thing is,
Bro said his game is a wash.
bro, my honest, and this was my critique coming out of college. I said for all that he does well, that Johnny Manziel play style does not work in the NFL. It's never worked. You cannot be your best trait at quarterback. The biggest red flag they ever tell you is his best trait coming out of college is he plays out of structure.
Yeah, if you improvise, that's
no.
I agree with that.
Because even with Kyler, when he had to be in structure, laser.
Yeah,
To where it was like, you feel what I'm saying? To where it was like, okay, bet. Even when we gotta have Kyler be out of structure, he's so dangerous with his feet. We don't ever even want him to get out of structure. But when Kyler is in structure, he's a dart thrower. He throws nothing but darts.
Yeah.
Caleb was not that. Caleb was never that. Caleb doesn't have the arm talent like Baker. He's processing. When we talk
Nah,
about his,
Caleb does have the arm talent. Caleb's arm talent is
I
better than
think
all those guys.
bro, stop.
Kyler might be the only one I can argue with you
madness.
that Caleb might not have the arm talent
Stop the
as,
madness.
but Caleb's
No.
arm talent is
Stop the madness.
incredible, bro.
Baker is way more. When
That's
I
one
say
thing he
arm
do
talent, I'm
got.
talking about accuracy with power. I'm not talking about just straight giving me wrist work. I'm talking about accuracy with power. Caleb
I
does
thought you
not
just
have
meant
that.
power. I'm like,
No,
because
I'm
he
not
can
looking
swing.
at just straight power. Obviously, Caleb can launch that hoe. I'm not gonna lie, Caleb can launch it. But talking about accuracy with power. Plus, he does not have
Precisely.
great decision making. Processor is mid. Fourth, his footwork is. I don't even know what you could describe that. It's I'll be speechless
you can
watching him
coach.
play
You know,
ball.
he got
I'm like,
a
dog, what are you
little bit
doing
of
with
to
your
me,
feet?
like, which is like, it works whenever you throwing for 40 touchdowns. Like, it's cool. He got a little like, which is really crazy because he's his favorite player.
Don't say it. Don't say what I think you're gonna say. Please don't
It's
say what I
like
think you're
Aaron
gonna say.
Rodgers, where he's almost.
Oh
Let me
my
elaborate.
God.
Let me elaborate.
No.
No, please let me elaborate.
I knew
Please
it.
let me elaborate.
No,
I mean,
cook.
not in terms of like Aaron Rodgers, like one of the greatest to ever play. I mean, in terms of, I don't know if you remember, Aaron Rodgers was like damn near scared to throw a pick because he wanted to like keep it at 4 interceptions, like every year 5 interceptions, which is great. But sometimes throwing picks, I'm not saying it's good. It's not good throwing picks, but that kind of tells me sometimes you're not taking chances. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that makes Caleb good and made Caleb good, he was taking chances. He was throwing the ball down the field. Now it's like he's almost checking down, throwing this guy, like, you know what I'm saying, 5 yards down the field, 10 yards down the field. And he's not taking those.
He can't even
That's
do
what
that.
I'm saying. He's not taking those chances anymore that he did in college. You know what I'm saying? That made him the number 1 pick. So I'm not saying he's Aaron Rodgers, but he's not Aaron Rodgers. It's not even like, I feel like that's not even a take. It really should be. But I mean in terms of where,
That's a
like,
crazy comp.
I mean,
man.
in terms of where he's just not like taking chances, if that makes sense. Like, cause playing it
He's
safe in a
playing
sense,
it
which
safe.
Aaron Rodgers throwing for 40 touchdowns, dog. I mean, like that was one of the craziest seasons ever. But whenever you not throw for 40 touchdowns, you playing it safe, you look crazy, bro. It's not. We drafted you to just be great, but at the same time, I would imagine Ben Johnson's like he teaches him those things, like he instills it in him, like, hey, don't be a risk taker, play within the system, take what the defense give you. Because that's what Jared Goff did. Jared Goff don't really take chances, just play within the system. But that's not Caleb's game. So it's like it's gonna be a learning curve. Do I think
He's
it's
having
done?
an identity crisis. You think he's having like an identity crisis with what he wanted to do and then what he's being
I don't
coached
think
to
it's an
do?
identity crisis. I mean, maybe because he's probably played like that his whole life. You know what I'm saying? His whole
Correct.
entire life playing football.
I believe
it's
so,
probably
too.
been, but I'm better. I'm more athletic than everybody on this field, and I can throw this ball anywhere I want to on this field. So now being in a system where the coach is telling you, well, play within the system. Don't. If it's there, take it obviously, but play within the system. I'm gonna scheme guys wide open. I feel like it's different. You know what I'm saying? And then the line isn't that great. So I think it's a learning curve, but I think next year and probably like towards the end of this
He don't
season,
got no tackles.
we'll start seeing like him start hitting strides where he starts looking like the number 1 pick.
My thing is, again, his arm talent, you can say that he has a rocket cool, but he's not accurate. His footwork when it comes to throwing balls over the middle or throwing those out routes or throwing those corner routes, it's not consistent. It's not consistent. And I promise you, with that O-line, you're gonna get ate alive in this league, boy. You're not gonna last. You're just not. And again, that Johnny Manziel out of structure play style does not work in the NFL if you don't throw darts. Caleb Williams don't throw darts. Not consistent enough. I and I'll give him some pass because his processor has improved this year. I'm not going to just be a Caleb Williams hater all the way through. His processor has looked better this year than it has looked the year prior. But do I believe that's going to be enough to fix some of the things that I think he lacks in terms of footwork, in terms of actual arm talent? No, not at all. You can't teach arm talent, bro. You just can't. You really cannot teach throwing power with accuracy. You can't teach that. That's something that's got to be. If you got it, you got it. You don't, you don't. He's not one of them guys. He's not. We need to stop thinking that he's an offensive line away or running back away. Like it's year 2. Year 2, I should be seeing ample growth, and it's so minuscule to me. It's like how long you think Ben Johnson and the boys got before Caleb figured it out? 3-4 years max. If he don't figure it out by this year, his job is on the line. I'm not gonna hold you. His
Nah.
job is on the line. Because there should be no reason. There should be no reason. I don't care if he has a 3-to-1 TD INT ratio.
Yeah,
There
I'm
should
not
be
about to
no
go watch
reason.
it. If you watch the
Especially
tape,
last year. I
it's
said
not a
this.
good 3-1.
It's not good tape. It's not, bro. It is just not. It's not. There's guys he just completely misses. I'm like, how didn't you see him? Wide open. Not a
No,
soul around him. How you miss him?
That Viking game was
Where's your
probably,
head
in
at?
my opinion, one of his like worst games he probably put together. Just in terms of like,
And he started
yeah,
that
just in
game
terms of
money.
just
And that's
processing
and
and
go back to what you said. It's like when he started instruction, he looked so sweet, but when it gets time to okay, we're gonna call certain plays, we're gonna now dictate the coaching and the schemes and the plays we're calling based on what the Vikings are running. We're no longer running script. We're not doing no more script. Script has been gone since the second quarter. We calling whatever the Vikings got. We got to play for that now. When it come to that, he all of a sudden is like a deer in the headlights. And I ain't gonna lie, if I can feel that and I can see that as a fan, I'm not no coach. I'm just a fan watching game, bro. You don't stand a chance in this league, bro. And then all the theatrics that come with Caleb Williams, like the unnecessary media attention from being a first round pick, painting your nails. I don't give a damn about that shit. But when you're losing, everyone's looking at you, bro. Everyone's looking at you like, what you doing, bro? And in a violent game like this, everybody. You don't think defensive players is knowing that they want to smack the hell out you? You don't know that? They got to be. They want war with you off of that alone. There's not anything else, but we're not gonna let Caleb Williams just roll it all over us, bro. I know there's defensive players saying that. I know it. This game isn't one of those games where because I think personally that shit's like psychological warfare, which I think is brilliant. I think that's brilliant from Caleb on his end. But at the same time, you can't do stuff like
and
that
not win.
and then not be ready to perform at the highest clip. You just can't. Me personally, you just can't do. It's the same thing I said with it's C.J. Stroud and the dribbling the basketball for this pregame. It looks sweet. It's cool, but when you're not winning, bro, get that bullshit. That's bull job, bro. Get that nonsense out of here, bro. Go ball. What are we doing? What are we doing? We professional athletes. What we doing? What we doing? All of it's cool when we win it. But when your processor looks like trash, you missing open receivers, your footwork looks egregious,
Yeah.
what you want me to say? I can't make excuses for poor performance, man. I can't.
For sure. So before we pivot into basketball, you guys have any final thoughts on the NFL season so far?
Random take. Roger
Big
Goodell.
flop.
Like I feel like the
About
touchbacks being to the 35-yard line is partially why quarterbacks aren't throwing consistently for over 200 yards. That's my take. That's random observation. I feel like the key
Interesting
concern is
take.
why like quarterbacks haven't really been, you know what I'm saying, throwing the ball all over the yard as much anymore. Just because I mean, there's only so much yard you can get when you're starting at the 35, and I mean you're not scoring every single drive. So drives are gonna stall out. You're gonna throw for 30 that drive and things of that nature. So Roger Goodell, you are a problem. That's my take. That's my take.
Great.
Let's say
For sure.
big flock.
For sure.
Big flock.
All right, we can segue into the NBA. So first topic we're going to talk about is the controversy surrounding Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers about them having some type of tree planting organization and paying Kawhi under the table. It seems like they're looking into it as of right now, Adam Silver and them. So do you think the Clippers are going to get like a serious punishment, or do you think that they're going to like walk away with this unscathed? Or what does this mean for other teams in the NBA? Do you think they might have anything like side businesses like this going on?
I don't
This
think
isn't
this
news
is
to
like.
me.
I don't
Yeah,
think
this
it's
is not
anything
new.
new.
It can't be.
I don't think
It can't be.
I don't think. I feel like anybody who's like watched sports like knows it's new. Like I don't want to like compare it to college, but if you don't think Nick Saban was giving them boys charges for the free ski like, under the table, you know what I'm saying? If the alumni wasn't paying
You don't think
like Vince Young to go to Texas to go to UT, like then like you know what I'm saying? You kind of naive to the fact. Like I don't think there's anything new.
Y'all got caught.
Like whenever like guys like Jalen Brunson take a contract, you like, damn, Jalen Brunson took a contract cut like that. You don't think like on the side, like the owner pulled him to the side and said, "Yo, here go your extra little 10 mil, so you don't have another
You
contract."
think these billionaires
You know what
not
I'm saying?
putting money on their boys? Come on, man.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
what I'm
think there's
saying. Though.
anything
Do you
new.
think this might start a trend of like them getting exposed?
No.
As like the Clippers.
The
Probably,
Clippers, Ballmer was
not.
just
Because
a goof that got caught. That's it. That's all the boy. And shout out my boy Steve.
yeah, I
He's
don't
just the
think.
one that got caught. That's all it boiled down to. I have no doubt in my
Yeah, I
mind
don't
that
think anybody's ever like.
my bad, Mark, but every big market team has done this at least once.
Go
At
ahead.
least once. At least once. At least once. I could bet even some small
You
market
don't think
teams
the
did it.
Lakers gave Bron some ownership?
I'm like, what?
You don't think Bron got a little bit of ownership
Like
in the
you're
Lakers
kidding.
right now?
There's no
Okay.
doubt in my mind, actually. I just think Steve Ballmer is the guy that got caught. He just didn't mask it like every other owner probably did in the past. I wouldn't even be surprised if this isn't the first time in NBA history something like this has happened. This probably was happening in the 90s and the 80s. I could bet you
I'm sure Jordan got
Probably.
hella bread on the
what?
side
I
from the
can
Bulls.
almost
Sure.
bet you when them boys was playing at the height of Jordan's peak, them boys was giving out buku money under the table to stop that boy. I can guarantee you. So no, I just think Steve Ballmer got caught. Do I think the Clippers should be punished? Amply, yes. Strip them from picks, strip them with the money. Hell, I would take some of that stadium revenue, give it right back to the league, since y'all want to be doing underhanded
Yeah,
business.
I think it's almost like a PR thing too as well. Like like Silver, like you know what I'm saying. Like it's like everybody kind of like if you ain't cheating, you trying in a
Facts.
sense. Like the Patriots, like everybody knew the Patriots. Everybody in the league's doing that. Everybody in the league was doing what the Patriots doing. If they get a chance to go watch a practice, they're gonna watch
They
a
gonna send a
practice. If they get a chance to bring somebody in to go tell them about the playbook, like say like a quarterback got cut from the Ravens and you playing the Ravens this week, I just bring you in. Let's have a talk. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody does that. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just more so like when the Patriots got caught, hey man, everybody doing it, but now we got to make an example out of you because, like you know what I'm saying, we have fans watching, we got you know what I'm saying
We got
sponsorship.
money on the line.
We can't make the league become corrupt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though it might already be corrupt, we can't make it look corrupt. You know what I'm saying? To the outside looking in. So I don't think this is anything new. I think, like I said, I don't think anybody's ever just done research on and investigating on this. I think this is just like that Pablo dude.
I mean, journalism at its finest. Salute to the guy.
Just got
That's
caught.
what it
Bro.
boiled down to. You,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think anything gonna happen. I
Really?
honestly do. I think they'll probably get fines just because you know what I'm saying. But I don't
You
think
don't think they'll
Kawhi's
lose a
gonna get
pick or
cut.
something?
Maybe like a second round pick or something like that. Like you know,
That would be
I'd
crazy.
imagine. I think
I
if-
would think a first.
Nah, I think
Like,
they
I
should be
could see them,
stripped
like,
at
losing a
least.
first or
They
two.
should be stripped at least for the next 4 years of their first round picks. That's ridiculous. I don't.
4
yeah,
years.
yeah.
4
That's
years.
ridiculous. No. Because
You'd have thought he bombed the place.
we already fighting the gambling allegations, dog. We already fighting that. We trying to keep this PG. We Disney. What the heck you doing?
Man,
What is you
they're already
doing?
the oldest team in the
Doing
league,
shadow
too.
Ooh, they would be
company,
cooked.
and then you framed it like you helping the earth. You ain't helping
I'll
out
be
a
out
lick
there
of the
playing
earth.
for the Clippers.
You ain't helped a lick of the earth. So we gotta really punish
plant
you.
no trees.
You
Golly.
supposed to be planting trees. I ain't seen Kawhi plant one tree, bro. So not only
No, I seen a picture of him playing that
that's
tree. I did see a picture.
boof.
Of him playing the
That's
tree.
boof. That's not real, man. I can't even buy into that. If I was Silver, they got to get punished. We got to set an example for y'all. So if y'all gonna cheat, at least
No,
do
I
a
agree.
better job. At least do a much better job to make it look like we actually did something. How the company that is essentially a shell company goes under, and then everyone has access to the books. Everybody can just pick up the books and go see the books, and then they can easily find that you gave Kawhi Leonard money off of that. That's ridiculous. You guys didn't even try to
Crazy.
hide it. You didn't even try. Like, and I personally believe Steve Ballmer is so rich, he probably didn't give a damn, honestly. He's like, bro, how much they gonna find me? A milli? Take it. 20 milli? Take it. That's chump change to a billionaire
I
like
think it's gonna
him.
be picks.
He getting revenue. He getting different revenue. So I know in his mind, it's like, even if we get caught, what's the worst they gonna do? They're not gonna strip the team from me. So yeah,
Sure.
find them
I
boys.
understand.
Find them boys.
So, for sure. Mark, before you go, so in the midst of all this Clipper drama, CP3 is actually back on the Clippers for his farewell tour. So you have any thoughts on his career, his accomplishments? Where did you rank him all time? Anything positive to say, you know?
Jokes aside, that's he's a top 5 point guard to ever play the game. I think that goes without saying. But also, I do want to say, it's not overrated, but I think a little bit of like the everywhere he goes, the team got better. It was a little overrated. That stat in itself was a little overrated. Because whenever he went to the Suns, Devin Booker was hitting his stride. Ayton was hitting his stride. When he went to the Thunder, they just traded for Shea. They just you know what I'm saying? Like it was like, but like I said, he's a top 5 point guard to ever play the game. That's really all I got to say about
He
him.
kept
You know
it
what I'm saying?
PG. I'm
Salute to
surprised.
him.
Wow, he kept
Yeah,
it
salute to
mad
him.
love.
You know what
No,
Yeah,
I'm
for
saying?
real.
I'm
He
surprised.
kept it light.
What a career. I mean, guys don't know New Orleans CP3 was a real dog.
I wouldn't know. I
For sure.
From what the media tells
For
it,
sure.
PG is the last true point guard to ever play. From what fans tell it, they hate him. I ain't never heard a fan really say anything good about PG other than like he's
Nah,
just a really
he's
good
a
point
dirty
guard.
player. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's a dirty player, but I
God,
mean, like I said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Like that's really like
If you could cheat him,
like
you
I
could
said, the
beat him.
moral of the story. You know what I'm saying? But nah, you're a hell of a
Hell
player.
yeah.
I mean, Hall of Fame. Like I mean, it goes without saying. And then the top 5 point guard ever play the game. I mean, I think really only guys that I think would like no doubt about it be over him, Steph, Magic,
Stock.
and then maybe Stockton. I think that's the only guys that I'll say like there's really no debate. And then I
You
think
wouldn't
that
put
next
Russ over
group,
him.
I think to me, honestly, they're the exact same player. Not in terms of like talent wise, like
But in terms of
you know what I'm
like
saying, or like
impact type
terms of
shit,
like skill set, but in
yeah,
terms of like just career wise, I think there's
yeah,
two
career.
guys
Okay.
that they come short when it comes to playoff times. And I think one guy gets praised for it, the other doesn't. One guy's choked the most leads in NBA history. The other guy just chokes in the playoffs. Like, I think that's really it.
For sure, man. Shout out to CP3, bro. And as for the last NBA topic, we have the drama between Pat Bev and Trae Young. Have you guys tapped into what
It's
they've been
kind of
saying?
crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel for both parties. I think Trey does make a valid point that he hasn't even touched 30. If you don't know, Pat Bev essentially said that these guys are just wasting time in the All-Star game and they not really, if I can get a direct quote, but essentially what Pat was saying is they don't take the All-Star game serious because they don't care, essentially. They don't care. And I just, I hear both parties, bro. And these are two guys that are in the NBA. I mean, Pat isn't actively in the NBA right now, but like these are guys that have played at the highest level. Pat on his end is an all defensive player at one point. Has made I think am I right about that? He's made one of those teams.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Trae Young is ethical hooper, you know what I'm saying? One of the best at point guard right now. Uh I don't know I don't feel like either guy is wrong. I think what Pat Bev is saying, maybe his approach was wrong, but I don't think what he's saying in like the totality is truly like wrong because guys don't give a damn about the All-Star game. It's the truth. It's the truth.
I mean,
It's the
for
truth.
sure. I think like the Trae Young comment was like basically
You
like
suck.
let the All Stars speak for
Yeah.
themselves
You're pretty much
on the
saying like
game.
you're not an All-Star actively, so you can't say a word. But I don't think that's not fair in terms of what Pat Bev is right now as a as like a commentator for sports. I think Pat Bev has every right to say what he wants to say because what did again maybe how he approached it was wrong, but
I feel like he started going into like things that don't
having to
have
do
to
with
do with the
That's what I'm
topic
saying. What
at
that doesn't have
hand.
to do with actual basketball.
Yeah, like he was talking about like
Yeah,
Trae
how
Young not
like no,
winning in
it's
the
Trey Lana. How
playoffs and
people
things
don't
like
want to play with
that.
Trey. That's the wrong
Yeah,
approach. That's the
yeah,
wrong
like that's
approach.
outside of the
Yeah,
actual topic
facts.
at
But
hand.
I don't think his original statements was to the offense. And again, I feel both parties because Trey has every right to say like, "Hey, let the All Stars speak for themselves." He
Yeah,
has every right to
yeah,
say that.
exactly. I don't think like it was ill will in that
I
anyway.
don't think there
I
was
feel like
ill
Pat just
will.
took
Yeah, I
it
just
that
think
way.
Pat took it that way, took it too far, and then Trey had to chin check him. That's straight up what it was. Just had to tell him, "Hey,
Yeah,
big boy, you ain't even got half the glory that I got at my age right now. When you was my age, bro, you was coattailing, dog. I'm over here leading franchises. You know what I'm saying? He got it, like, and both
yeah.
guys got every right to feel that. Like, I don't have no side in this. I don't want to call it beef, but in this debate, I hear both parties loud and clear. It just sucks that it had to be over the internet. Like, cause now I'm not gonna lie, both of y'all look like Trey. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. You ain't gonna go too far with them hops. You might make another ECF, but I ain't gonna hold you. Is you getting to that finals? Is
The East is wide open, bro.
is
I ain't gonna
Kristoff
lie.
enough?
The East is
Is
wide open.
Kristoff enough?
Name three teams that you can confidently say better than the Hawks
Right
in the
now
East
in the
right now.
East, the Cavs, the
Hmm.
Knicks. The Hawks may be that third.
The Knicks?
Yeah,
The
I think
Knicks, for real?
the Hawks. I think the
Trey
Hawks,
love playing the Knicks, bro. I'm telling
bruh,
you. Trey love playing the Knicks for a
bruh.
reason.
But again, you talking about three? We're not just on paper. On paper,
We talking about rolling dice
rolling
on the
dice
on the
on the
half
half
court.
court right now. Taking Cavs, Knicks.
No, I'm talking about that's what Trey did the
I
last time
know
they played
that's
the
what he did.
Knicks.
I'm talking about if I would have picked three teams that are in there, I think the Hawks would be the third. Like the Hawks would be like they're just right there. I
Okay.
don't know how else
Mm.
to describe it though. It's like I don't know if they're missing a piece. I don't know if it's culture. I don't know if it's coaching. Like they're right there on the cusp. But again, the Knicks have had more success in recent years, so I got to put the Knicks over them.
Mm.
That's what it is for me. For me.
That's fair.
For
That's
me.
fair.
But
I can see top three.
I
Even
can even
like I
argue
can
that the
even say like
Pistons may
you can.
even make another. The Pistons may be on man time come this year and maybe going blow for blow, hand for hand with the whole East. I don't know.
I can see that too. I can see
The
that too.
Celtics like this, it gets dicey when you start playing the season out. Like I want to see how it comes out, but if you're talking about on paper right now, the Hawks. If you want to say the Hawks are the third best team in the East, that's cool. I'm not gonna argue that. But two teams I would put ahead of them,
I'll
Cavs
say
and the
third or
Knicks.
fourth. Yeah.
Fourth, that's even cool too. Like that's cool too. I just don't know how it's going to play out. That's why I feel for Trae. Like I understand Trae's argument. Like Trae has every right to feel so because he has
Mm.
been, I don't know, the most successful Atlanta Hawk in the last 10 years. Like who else the next? Who else the
Yeah.
next? Jeff Teague and Jay Smooth.
Basically.
Like so,
Basically.
it's Trae.
Al Horford
Yeah,
and
Al
them.
Horford and them. Like it's Trae's team. So the team is going to go as far as Trae can take them. And I think what last year he had injuries. What am I wrong about that? Last year Trae was hurt.
I feel like no, it was. I think it was. Yeah, Trey
Yeah,
did get
Trey
hurt
got hurt
last year.
last year, but I think if he can stay healthy, I think the Hawks can definitely be ECF contenders. I just don't know. I just don't know like how you would quantify it right now, being it so early. Like we're not even in October yet for me.
Yeah, it's wide
It's
open.
wide open.
It's too
Yeah,
wide
it's too
open.
wide open for me to say like the Hawks are just like in the top two right now to get come out the East. Nah, hell no. I can That'd be unfair to the rest of the East, honestly. Because for dead ass, all I know, the Cavs could turn around. Donovan Mitchell could have heard all the bullshit I was talking about, and now Donovan Mitchell done turned the Cavs up. Now the Cavs is banging hard in the East again, and they getting first seeds, and now they making ECS and going crazy. So I don't know, but I feel both parties though for sure.
For sure. For sure. I got a random question that's not on the topics list, but since like now recently, especially like these last few years, the talent has been like way towards the West over the East. What would you think of an idea of a playoff format being the top 16 teams rather than the actual 8 from the East and 8 from the
Hmm.
West?
That'd be better.
No.
So don't include the travel factor. I feel like the travel factor would be the main
That's what
reason
I'm
why they
thinking.
wouldn't do it.
The
But
economic.
like take that but take that out of it. Do you think that would be a good
That's
idea
good
for
basketball to me.
I I think it's hard for me to say that's a good idea. Just thinking about it logistics wise, like that's a lot. Like that's a lot. But if you take logistics out, would it be something new? Yes, and I think the league just needs stuff to get the people more interested, man. Like the same way when I was like, "Why are we doing a play-in?" and then the play-in come, I'm like, "Oh, the play-in!" Like this year, I'm looking forward to the play-in. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to
yeah.
I was about to say the Dubai tournament, but to the in-season tournament that they got coming on. Like I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Like the league needs something that's going to shake it up a little bit. More than anything, do I feel like there should be a 16 instead of an 18 per each conference? That's a great question. Just because the league needs something different, yeah. I think just to give people something new to look at,
I just feel like the talent is like so lopsided towards the West
I think just the
nowadays.
West geographically suits a lot more players. I think actually what it. I think this is more on the players just liking more of what those West Coast teams have to offer from a geographical standpoint. I know that sounds insane,
It's always been
but
a like a common
you
thing,
know what
bro.
I'm
The West
saying,
has
bro?
always had the more star power. I just feel like the gap is like widened
I
recently.
think that's gonna be more or less on these players. I don't know if players got away from this,
Like
but players
imagine if like imagine if a player like Giannis just ended up going to the Warriors. Who does the East have at that point?
Donovan Mitchell, Kerry Cunningham, Trae Young,
My point.
they got killers,
Those are great
got
players too.
killers.
Those are great players too. But like my point being like that is not comparable to the talent that's out west. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
really hard for me to feel bad for the East though because like the East has had a lot of franchises that just didn't care about basketball for a long time. For a while. For a while. What were the Bucks doing before Giannis? Michael Redd? I don't even know I don't even
What's
know
his
what
name?
you feel me? The Pistons were literally
Brandon
garbage for like
Jennings.
15 years. After they went on that crazy run in '04,
But Pistons a
they were
dynasty though.
garbage.
Pistons had a
After
dynasty
that
though.
dynasty, they literally stopped caring about basketball. They literally stopped caring about basketball. What you want me to say?
I would
The
say up
Cavs
until like 2007,
never
2008.
cared about basketball after LeBron left. He had to come back to save them boys. We can keep going. Orlando don't give a damn about no hoops. It's just now that we got Paolo and them boys in that they started caring about basketball. What were they doing with Dwight Howard? They got Dwight Howard
They
got
went to
them
the
boys to a
finals.
finals, and at no point they were like, "Damn, we should pair him with another superstar." Nothing. They thought it was going to be Dwight Howard going to be able to what? So I can't even be mad at like the West having so much talent.
You think those teams are just poorly
I just think
managed?
a
That's
lot of the
basically what
teams
you're
on the
saying.
East have been poorly managed for at least most of my lifetime. Most of my lifetime. Most of my time watching hoops, and again, I'm a new fan of basketball, so
But like, think
I
about
can't.
it. Think about it like this. Like you said, how like players want to go west. Do you think that plays a factor in actually bringing superstars into
Yeah,
teams in the
100,
East like that?
100%.
Like Cleveland, it's like really hard to bring
Yeah,
somebody over there with them.
100%.
Like think
Yeah,
about it.
100%. That because you got to think about it. Like guys are moving their lives. Like Mark made a great point a couple years ago. Said, "Well, we could turn Cleveland to Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Essentially, you
Yeah.
can." But like, dog, do you really want to though? When you could just
Yeah, especially if Houston, Atlanta,
is
Vegas
right,
is
you know
really
what
right
I'm
there.
saying,
Yeah.
bro? Like, you feel me? Would you really want to? Like, do you really want to? Like, yeah,
Like
you
imagine if
can.
like the Cavs moved to Las Vegas. Like I feel like they
Completely
would have
different
much more
team.
appeal when it comes to the
You
yeah.
can bring in anybody at that point, and I just it's like there are teams in the West that have a hard sell, like the Kings. Like you're in Sacramento, it's gonna be hard to bring guys in. Like there are teams in the West geographically. It's like who wants to play here? Like, but it's not a lot of them, bro. It's really not a lot of them. Most of the teams that have a hard sell are from the East in terms of like geographically. Do you want to play here? Another thing I think that plays a role into it, and I was going to say this, I don't think guys are teaming up like they used to. I think guys are trying to stamp their name in the game. They don't want no co-star. They don't want nobody. Like if you draft a guy and he becomes my co-star, cool, cool. I ain't recruiting nobody to come play with me to come get a ring. Hell no, we doing this off the muscle. You know what I'm saying? So I this kind of goes back to that 16 team playoff type style. I think a type of style like that would then make a lot of guys see each other way more and would kind of ingratiate
Yeah.
themselves into doing a lot more. Hey, let's go team up since we played each other like how you play. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time, the East and the West, when they playing for something big, it's only in the finals. They're not really. Of course they're doing cross conference games, but it's two, I think.
But it's like they only played two
Yeah,
games, yeah.
two.
2 games against the other
Yeah, fact. So
conference.
you're not even seeing a lot of those guys that are in the West as much as you should be. But like a 16 team tournament bracket, completely different. Now we've seen each other 7 games. We might have now off
Yeah.
the hoop create a rivalry off that. Now I'm like, now I got to get my enemies to turn friends. Like now that'd be different. But the East for me, that's kind of what it is, bro. You would think guys want to play for New York, poorly ran. Both teams in New York poorly ran. New York a great market. Both teams poorly ran.
Yeah.
So
But I don't think we're gonna ever see it happen, just like logistics wise though.
unless we get supersonic planes, so I
Yeah,
don't think it's
something
happening.
like that. But before we get out of here, want to touch on the Bud and Crawford fight. Jeff, you have any opinions on the fight? How do you feel about the fight? Did it live up to your
The
expectations?
actual fight itself is boxing. The actual fight itself was boring, but it lived up to my expectations. Like it was a
It was
masterclass
boring.
by
I thought it was
straight
pretty
Crawford,
entertaining.
but it was a master class. But I'm a UFC fan. I'm always gonna say boxing is boring. Respectfully, if you was looking at it like a chess match, that was perfect. Crawford definitely defensively was a sight for sore eyes. That was
Masterclass. Yeah,
very,
yeah, yeah.
very,
I didn't even
very
know that was his
Yeah,
bag.
disappointing.
I had no idea that was his bag. I
That
had
that
no
was
idea that was his bag.
yeah.
amazing. That was
He put
amazing.
Canelo. He had Canelo looking like
Look,
there was one
ugh.
time Canelo got cracked after
You can
slipping.
see all them like power.
Yeah,
you can see all them power swings that Canelo was
And
throwing,
they were
and
just
like
just like
block,
Perry
Crawford was
block,
game,
like
Perry,
duck,
ducking each one
the
of them,
Perry
bro.
game was crazy.
block.
His
Yeah,
Perry, man, holy moly! Like,
That was
and then the counter
it
game
was
is nice
great.
too.
oh, his counter
Masterclass.
game was just
Yeah,
on. Man, I'm not gonna hold you. Canelo to me, from me just liking fighting, like fight fan, UFC, boxing, MMA, BJJ, you name it, like love it. I personally haven't been in tune with boxing because it's just a lot to keep up with. So many divisions, so many conferences, like it's just too much. So many titles you gotta keep up for. So from my experience knowing Crawford, I knew he was a fast starter, can stay on it, good gas tank. But I knew Canelo as having just mitts like hands, all power and elite defense. So to watch how Crawford
and
kind
he's a tank
and
too.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, and a crazy tank. So to watch how like Crawford kind of used his skill set against him was like I was shocked. I
It
was
was
like,
really
bro,
skill skill for
I
skill set.
literally just watched the guy use
Yeah,
another man's skill to his disadvantage.
Hmm.
Everything Canelo was good at that night, Crawford used to his disadvantage. Literally, and Crawford said himself, he sized him up. Yeah, 100%. If you watch that fight, I mean, from the moment the first round started, Crawford dictated everything. Dictated how he was going to take the punches,
for
how he was going to
sure,
get
for
thrown.
sure.
Again, like y'all said, his parry game was crazy. His blocking game was immaculate. Head movement was immaculate. Footwork was immaculate. Like everything about that fight. I was surprised they were saying it was 119, 117. I'm like, how? This was like damn
Number
near
one.
119, 114. Like this was a
It
crazy
was
walk
one
down,
shot.
honestly.
Like a
Like,
wash.
yeah. Like
Crawford did everything right.
if you didn't know boxing, you probably would have thought like, kill Canelo Walsh. I ain't gonna lie to you, Canelo Walsh. But Canelo still is one of the best. Do I think Crawford is due for any more fights anytime soon?
Go ahead and wrap it up.
Nah.
This a beautiful.
Who we
I
This
got?
a
don't
Who we
I don't
beautiful
got
know
for
fight
who
to
else he
the?
wrap
got
it
to
up
fight.
on. It's a beautiful
Yeah, like
fight
I don't
to
know who else he got to
That's what
fight.
I'm saying.
Finish P for P,
You put up the
ride
perfect
off on the
fight.
and he's
sunset.
undefeated.
This is the perfect fight to retire on.
Perfect way to end it, honestly. And I wish we had Christian here. He can give us more like in depth detail. But for real, just from a like just enjoying sports perspective, I don't know how you could thought that was boring. I was on the edge of my seat that whole time because Canelo was throwing
No,
shots.
for
I'm
real.
thinking
I
he
kid you
going,
not. I was in the club
I
you
think
know
that
watching
what
was
it.
I mean?
more of
Like
like instead of
Canelo was throwing some shots. I'm thinking he gonna crack him. No,
I
block,
think
block, parry, head move. It was incredible. It was incredible.
I think instead of like viewing it as entertainment, I was really like analyzing it. I was really looking at a lot of
You
the
had to put on your
form.
thinking
Like
cap.
I was looking like this the whole fight. I was watching every single nook and cranny, every block. I was calculating
Got
everything.
you,
I was
got
in
you.
the zone. Like I had to see this from like an analyst perspective more than anything. Like, but
Mm.
when you saw Diego Lopez and that Gene fight before that, I'm just like,
Yeah, facts. When you saw the fight before that, you were like,
Oh, I did
"Oh,
not. I did
bro,
not see the
it
fight
that
before.
joint,
it's
they was
levels of
I
standing
did
in
not
the
entertainment,
see the fight
paint."
before.
entertainment.
Yeah,
But the
I see what you're
Crawford
saying.
was a master class, like skill based performance. The other one
If
was
we're not talking about the co-main,
entertaining.
I feel like I
if
prefer
we're not talking about the
the.
co-main, we're talking about the fight before the co-main. Them boys
Yeah,
was
them boys
literally
was
standing in front of each other,
standing and
throwing
banging.
bombs. Like
That was more
these are shots that would have
entertaining.
knocked out 90% of people.
It's less of a
And
master class, but it's more entertaining.
and I can
It's
see if you
different.
want,
I get what you're
if you was,
saying.
and I didn't
Like it's like on a technical aspect, it ain't as crazy, but like just for pure, just seeing hands
It's
being
different.
thrown.
That's why I say it
Yeah,
was
it's
I,
boring. It was
yeah.
a great
I
fight.
think from if you it depends. I think you're right. If you came into that, especially the way they, I think the reason why it's like that is the way they hyped it up. They hyped it up like this was gonna be two giants and
A
giants,
war, like a
yeah, a
gladiator.
war,
This was very
gladiators,
technical.
huzzah! Like they hyped it up like this was gonna be like the one that set every record. Bro, this was just
No,
a cold
Yeah,
down fight. Like this was two of the best high
yeah.
class fighters.
they
And
both
I
came
think
out
just the way they
unscathed.
hyped it up, it kind of if you weren't really if you weren't really locked into the fight, you would have definitely been disappointed. But if you were locked in,
Hmm.
like just said, if you were sitting there analyzing, you watched them boys really do a 4D human chess. It was really cool to see.
That was an
It
impressive
was
fight
really
for
cool to see.
sure.
Shout out Bud, man. Best to ever do it, man. I've never seen nothing like it.
Man, yeah, his name in the history books for sure. So, closing out this episode. just want to touch on the WNBA. Shout out to Paige Beckers for winning Rookie of the
Yeah,
Year.
yeah.
Asia Wilson and
The GOAT!
Delaney Smith both won
The
co-DPOIs.
Oh, actually, since we're on that quick though, how do y'all feel about co-MVPs? Because I don't mind it. I don't mind. I mean, co-award winners. I don't mind co-award winners. But how do y'all feel about co-award winners?
If you ain't first, you last.
I don't know. I feel like there's gotta be I feel like there's gotta
You
be a
ain't first, you
clear
last.
Wow.
That's tough. That's tough. You ain't first, you
Okay.
last.
Yeah, I feel like
But
there's gotta be a clear winner.
Wow.
There's gotta be a clear undisputed winner.
I'll tell you.
Like,
Like, what are we playing?
Like, I know
We
we
buddies?
might like.
So what do we
There could be
compete
like.
for?
Did we win it together? Like, we not teammates?
I get like picking one like starts controversy based on the other one, especially if the other person has done just as well. But I'd rather have that than to have a co-title because it kind of just takes away from.
No.
For me personally, it takes away from at least
Yeah,
one.
legacy-wise, they wanted to. Nah, legacy-wise,
Okay.
that's kind of.
Yeah, like I wanted to. Yeah, like I wanted together. It's kind of like, I wasn't the best.
I was one of the best.
the top two,
No.
basically.
Just give me the second place medal at
I
that
was
point.
top
I'd
two.
rather have that
I
than a
was-
co-main. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn.
And they already got you already got defensive teams. You know what I'm saying? You already got all defensive teams, so you gonna get a reward regardless. So why you gotta have a co-defensive player of the year award if both of these players are gonna be recognized anyway for their defense
Interesting take.
since they on the all defensive
Wow.
team?
Interesting. Okay.
But
I just new perspective. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
It's new perspective. Okay. All right. That's actually
For sure,
okay.
for
Fair.
sure.
That's fair.
yeah, that's just how I see
Okay.
it. That's just how I see it. But just running through the playoffs, the Aces have been 17-1. They had a crazy streak since the beginning of last month. So they've been 17-1 since August 2. I feel like they're gonna probably take it all the way. I feel it. I feel like they turning up at
Don't
the
they?
right
Don't they
time.
got the most
And,
talent too?
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure. And you know, Asia's still I still feel like Asia's the best
The
player. in the league.
GOAT.
And then Fever beat the Dream in the playoffs without Caitlin Clark. That was impressive to me. So that's good news for them. But that's as much I got to say about the WNBA.
Swag.
So
Swag
to
that.
wrap this episode up, thank you guys for watching. We got more coming your way soon. As always, thank you for tuning in to Fifth Quarter Sports. Shout out to Mark for tapping in. We got him back. Shout out to Editor Ez. Shout out to Wop. He couldn't make it, but he's going to be back soon. Shout out to
He said-
y'all. Jeff,
you know what?
Nick. Shout out to the feds. Everybody.
What that boy Mark said, he said he was talking to Hollywood.
Damn, that Hollywood.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. The Hollywood and WAP matchup is coming soon.
Oh God.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow us on our
Yes, sir.
socials. Thank
Go
you
Ravens.
guys. Peace out.